Hey, how we doing, traders? Welcome back. I apologize. We've been having some technical difficulties switching streams today. This is all on me, and sometimes you just got to call it. Man it up. Made the mistake. One thing I will do is fix it. Bring the energy, bring the trades. So you guys do me the favor. Hit that thumbs on up. We're starting on up here. I'll get it started, and welcome to it. Benzinga Live.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas law, that phrase.
Kiana.
Fisher.
Joy.
Joe. Cards drawn are the past, ones to come are future.
And the best part, it's beatable.
All right, traders, I'm deleting the other stream here, so you guys should be getting on over. Let's bring on Ryan and Zunaid. We'll start up a little bit slower, but we should get everyone on over. Already gave them the link, canceling that link, so they should see us live right now on our channel, and you guys are joining in. Welcome to it. Like I said, we had some technical difficulties, but let's get into the stocks. Stocks are I'm feeling a little bit better now. I'm starting to see a couple of days of sideways action, and that's what I look for, guys. I look for consolidation. I don't look for V bottoms. V bottoms for me are just calls for dead cat rallies. But now I'm starting to see a little bit more sideways action, starting to feel a little bit more confident in taking some trades. We'll be right at it. Let's go ahead. Let's start sharing our charts. If you guys can start sharing. Yep, we can get to some stocks here. And of course, guys, if you guys haven't done so before, definitely I would recommend add us on Twitter. I did put out like 7 or 8 different industry watches out there. I'm going to be doing that more often, putting out the charts. So you guys stay up with our Twitter so you guys can see these charts being put out. Going to Zunaid first. What do you see out there, my friend?
Yeah, one of the ones I'm going to keep an eye on is definitely going to be SoFi. SoFi yesterday, you can see we had talked about the previous close being acting as support or resistance. In this case, clearly it was support, tested the bottom multiple times, kept on running. The play that we took yesterday was square. You can see right here, we had the breakout come on and we went ahead and took this around 120 or so with the previous close being our stop out. We had a nice run. We took profits around here, and then this was the re-entry spot near VWAP. Something else that we like to look at, and you can see the beautiful run that it had. Today, what I'm going to keep an eye on SoFi is the fact that you can see on pre-market, you've got the lows kind of around 1120 or so. Let me go to the 10-minute here. You've got the lows around 1120. If somehow, some way it comes down here, I'm definitely going to be a buyer because look at the bounce here near VWAP. Look at the bounce near here near VWAP, and obviously this same exact spot. The break of 11 would be my stop loss. Plenty of room to come down here, but that's kind of where I'm looking at. Gonna see if SoFi kind of can find a new spot in terms of VWAP bounces and things like that. So we'll see what's going on in that spot there. In terms of AMD, 120 is again where I'm going to try to get some spot here, especially the 120.50. You can see it bounced yesterday, and then a break over 123.50 or possibly a rally over 124.50. Facebook was another really nice rally yesterday. Going to keep an eye on this one. It looks like for me, everything so far is at least 2% off of the area where I'd like to be a buyer. So I want the prices to either come into where I want to buy them or find a new base, find a new support, and then kind of go from there. In terms of SPY, Ryan talked about how, hey, they might, or Ryan, when Ryan and I were talking a few minutes ago, he talked about, hey, there might be like a rug pull or something like that. 437.50 is a spot that I want to keep an eye on SPY. You can see rejection here. You can see in the after hours rejection right there. And you can also see 2 days ago in trading session, the rejection there. So that's another spot that I'm going to keep an eye on.
All right, let's keep it going, guys. Looks like we're getting some people to come on in. Yes, I left some breadcrumbs laying around, so I hope you guys were able to find it to the stream. And do us a favor, guys. Today, we're definitely going to ask for some likes since we didn't start up with the viewership that we normally start with. You guys out there, help us bring in some traffic by just hitting the like button down below. That's definitely going to help us out. Let's go to Ryan now. What are you looking out there?
Yep, absolutely. And I'd just like to reiterate what you said. Today, of any day that we've done this, the likes are going to help us more. So please go out there and smash, hit, click, whatever you need to do with that like button to help us out. End up helping you out too. Now, anyway, what we have on the docket here, first things first, I want to talk about some of these Russian ETFs. All right, so this is going to be RUSL. You guys probably remember I traded this fairly well last week. I saw reports yesterday in our Benzinga Pro chat that this is going to be halted and liquidated in early March. I think March 11th. Do not trade this. This to me now is a no touch. I was doing all of that before they started cracking down and doing all of these halts. Please don't trade this. Please don't forget that you have this being halted and liquidated in your account. Just don't do it. Stay away from it. I know we've traded this recently. We're going to stay away from it today. So PSA there. Now, as far as the stocks that we're going to watch today, this is one that's been on our radar. We've traded this the past couple of weeks. This has been making some moves here. It's been a great scanner play. This is KAVL, Kyvale Brands Innovations. I'm not even sure what they do. Frankly, it doesn't matter. We're playing this for a lot of the technical moves here. I basically, in an ideal world, I'd love to see this come into 272, hold, and then we can actually day trade this all the way up. Also looking at some other small stocks here, Siren, CYRN. This also had been having a pretty good day. This is unusual volume for it. It's flagging here and holding. So I want to see if this actually makes an upside move. Looking at this now, I think a move through 5, without seeing the level 2, I think a move through 550 might actually ignite this. Let me go over. Oh, we're going to have one from yesterday, right? We talked about this yesterday, Mullen Automotive. When we talked about this yesterday, we were in the pre-market at just about $1. We're at $1.72 now. It looks like we hit a high of 215 earlier. So this is a huge one on a super abnormal volume. We're going to watch this. I'm going to be a little bit more conservative with this one. I think that there's probably going to be a big rug pull in here. If I see that, that might be something to buy. If it looks like it kind of stabilizes, probably not going to buy it on the extended highs here. And then last one here is going to be OEG. This also had some unusual volume the past couple of days, really made a nice 20-25 cent move here. We'll see if this gets action today. All of these plays, every one of them is going to need to have volume for it to work. If you don't see volume flowing in here, look for something else. If you want to keep it on a back burner and wait for the volume, that's totally fine. Last one I want to mention here is CTIC. This is already making a big move in the pre-market. We'll see if this can hold once the regular session opens. And then another one that everyone was making a big deal about in the after hours yesterday, ATX. This is a no touch for me. This feels like this is going to come all the way back down to flat. There's really not going to be any long side trades here. And I'm certainly not going to bother shorting a stock that's under $1. So to me, this one is a no touch, although you might see that get floated out there. As far as the broader market goes, if this VIX continues to melt, it's risk on, baby. Otherwise, just some things to watch out for. Oil, $100 a barrel, increased prices in grains and wheat. Just be careful out there. We're going to try to watch all of it. Sorry if I was a little winded there. Kind of a lot going on today.
Yeah, a lot going on indeed. Definitely it is. It's an actionable market, as we would say. Definitely moves being played both ways, so definitely pay attention out there. I'll get into some of the stocks that I'm looking at here. One of the things definitely is I always try to look at the industries, right? And so I'm going to go really quickly to run through kind of the areas that I'm looking at, and I'm going to try to do this relatively quickly. I'll go a little bit more in depth into certain stocks that I'm looking at right out the gates. But let me go ahead and just pull this into the screen here, so that you guys can look at this here. All right. Trying to make it big enough so that you guys can see it good. There you go. All right. So we'll start at the bottom here. AAL is the first area that I'd call on out. Take a look at the airlines, guys. I do think that if we're going to continue to move on up in the SPY and we're going to get this motion back towards the all-time highs, or even just a push back up, right? If we're going to continue seeing the lift, look for the reopening trade to keep coming in here. Spring break also coming into play, right, in March. I think that's something you keep on watch. You might see some catalysts come into play because of that. So for me, support near 1550s. And if you look here, we'll look for a push back up there towards the 22s. You guys could be going after this one. Let's keep going. Let's look at CCCL. Carnival Corp, of course, 1750s underneath. That's what I would be looking for a move up there. A pullback towards 18 today would actually be a good look, and then a push back on up. But even if you just get the push towards 24 today, it will be a good looking stock. I'll keep this one on radar, and these are reopening trades here. Another area to take a look at, LAC, lithium player. Take a look at some of the lithium players at all. I mean, PLL is another one. MP is one you can keep on watch. I like this LAC. It's actually, these are monthly candles that I'm showing you guys. So I'm going to keep these on watch. I think this is lining on up. Nice flag pattern. We'll look for a push above 3010s. And if you look at the weekly and the dailies, they're going to be very similar patterns. I like when you get those multi-time frame breakouts. So we'll take a look at LAC. Another one you guys can keep on watch. This whole industry, lumber and wood production. If you take a look here on the monthly, you can clearly see that we're trying to push on out from there. I will keep on watch WFG for a breakout above 100 today. That's a good one to keep on watch. UFPI, EVA, and you got to also look at BCC. These are industries to watch, and I'm just kind of running through here. Trucking industry, MRTN. Look for this one to kind of break on out. Monthly breakout through the 18 level would be looking good. Of course, we've seen big moves in USAK. Pay attention also to TFII. Nice flag pattern, looking for a breakout above 112.50s. Let's keep going through. I got some more for us. Caterpillar, I'm going to be calling out industrials. Look for this one to kind of get led by DE. I would like to see it kind of get led on up. And if you remember, I mean, we got a 1.2 trillion infrastructure bill coming into play. I think most people, that's already out of their minds, even though that's what you should be probably looking for to catch the trades and not miss out on the moves. I might be a little bit early on this, but these are kind of more swings looking out into the next 3 months. What should we be looking for? I would say look for infrastructure type of plays.
Mitch, don't feel bad about being early. My big infrastructure play, I started buying months ago, and I'm still adding to it. So
I got no problem with that.
Okay, my man.
I think you're doing it right then. If you're adding to it, I think you're doing it right. And then, right. Ryan. So another area, of course, is railroads. Keep this on watch. I think this is very important in the infrastructure play, right? And so look at CP. Look how this has been going sideways for months now. It could start getting a nice move on up. Of course, why am I talking about monthly candles? Because it's a new month, guys, and monthly candles are very important. I look at these all the time. Give me a great ability to get a small risk for a huge reward. And of course, you're using a deeper time frame, so you have to give it some space and some room. But what you can do is you can actually use lower share size and look for bigger ranges in the trade. I actually like to do this, especially when I'm going for my swing trading action. Another thing, of course, to keep on watch, I would keep on watch this other railroad, CNI, Canadian National Railroad. Look at that nice flag pattern. Could get a nice move above that. I'll keep these on watch. And of course, we're also seeing today oil moves. So I'll take a look at some oil trades. I also put out agricultural inputs. Look how this has been moving as the last 3 days. Sometimes you just miss plays, right? And I think that a lot of people miss these plays. What are these plays in agricultural? You could take a look at SMG. SMG is starting to get moving there. But look at this MOS trade, this Mosaic company. Look how that's been moving on up significantly in the last 3 days. You're talking 16, 17% on up. So I think this is why I like to look at industry and sector analysis, because sometimes you don't even catch the rotation that was put on here. And now you could at least pay attention to it if you caught it. So just look out for that. I still think the inflationary trade is big. On Monday, we talked about steel on pre-market prep. I said that was the industry that I wanted to see if it was going to catch on up, because it had taken some big retraces on Thursday and even into from Tuesday to Thursday, had taken big retraces. And if you take a look at X, it's been really hot lately. The last 2 days have been really pushing on up. You got about a 20% move in that. And X, you also see Cliff making a big move on up, NUE making big move on up. This is why I stick guys with industries versus sticking with stocks, because you're able to catch these moves and you see 3, 4, 5 stocks move in a direction versus just trying to play one. All right, that's going to do it for me. I'll just start taking stocks from the chat here. I could go into some oil plays and like AMC and things like that, but I'm just going to take some stocks from you guys out there. But please give us a thumbs on up. We're at 395. We want to continue going. Normally we have over 700 viewers. So do us a favor. Also, if you got some trading friends, look down below. You see that share button? All you got to do is hit the tweet, send it on out, and you can go ahead and get your friends to join the community. Let's go ahead. Let's get into some of these stocks mentioned in the chat. Do you see anyone that you want to maybe touch, Ryan?
Yeah, let's take a look at Roblox. That's a really popular one. I know
Let's
there are
do
a
it.
lot of people looking at it. And then with the move in Bitcoin, Mitch, I think it would be good of us to chart Mara and Riot really quickly. I know we only have 5 minutes, but I'd go Roblox, Mara, Riot.
Got you. So Roblox for me, it needs to get back towards the IPO low. The IPO low is 74.83. Until it gets to that level, I'm not bullish Roblox at all because I feel like you're catching a falling knife and you're trying to go after a stock here at underneath the IPO pricing. So to me, I think, yeah, you could go for the undercut and rally type of trade. You usually see big volume pops there, but you want to see this really quickly come on back through that level. That was this stock, this price here, 59. We'll see if it gets through there. 60s is the very minimum for me to start even looking bullish on Roblox. Let's go tomorrow and the miners here. Of course, the miners are starting to come on back. There's a deeper time frame trade here. If you look here on the monthly, you're going to start seeing how you're trying to catch the bid down here near 25s. That's what I'd kind of watch for pullbacks now. As long as 25 holds on pullbacks, you should be looking good here. That would be the last support that you broke out of on Monday, right? And so look for that to hold. If you do get that to hold, I think Mara could continue to run, especially if you're seeing Bitcoin take a run, right? HUT, another one. This one was a short for me at 14, now has come down all the way through the levels, made back its 100% retracement. So it's in a new trend. Let's see if it can really start making moves here. One thing that I would point out is if you look at the daily, this has already kind of made a 40% move on up. So you could see some kind of like an inside day or maybe a pullback towards 6 before you see these really take on off. Of course, you can keep a watch on Riot. There's BTCM. This is another one you can look at, maybe a breakout above 3 today, going towards 330s or 340s. Another one, of course, if you like expensive one, is MS. Is it MSTR? Yeah, MicroStrategy. Looking for that one to put through towards 500. This one also has made a significant move in the last 4 days, about 37%. So we'll see if these kind of retrace today.
My favorite is CIFR, by the way. Take a look at that one. CIFR.
CIFR.
That's a minor. And
you see,
that's in better shape than Mara and Riot.
You learn something new, guys. You learn something new all the time, guys. This is one stock that I did not know was a mining stock. And there you guys have it. Relationships is so important there, guys. We'll see if this can get off the ground. Nice 275 underneath it. Tried to break out above 350 yesterday. Couldn't hold the gains there. So that's kind of the level that I'd point out today. Get it into the 350s. Look to see if it comes back towards the high of 450. That could be a massive move, right? I mean, a push in pre-market looks like it went towards 450. So let's see if it can get back above 350 in the intraday. Oil stocks being mentioned in the chat. Let's go to some of those. MRO was one that I missed yesterday, even though I wanted to trade it. It just started finally trending, and it looks like oil finally recovering and finally going back into some logical phase. So to me, I didn't think that pullback was logical at all. At least we were in kind of a war phase, and it just didn't make sense for us to be pulling on back. So now that we're kind of getting back into the bullish sense, it's starting to make sense. For me, I'm looking for pullbacks of this channel. So looking for pullbacks closer towards 2250 today to then finally catch the ride back up there towards 24. If it just breaks on out, I'll let it keep going. But one of the things that I've done often is trying to catch it on the push right out the gates. When it's in the middle of this channel, it's been catching me. So I'm looking for either bottom of the channel entries or top of the channel breakouts to continue trading MRO. One that I did like how it traded yesterday was XOM. It did hold the VWAP and pushed on up, gave you a nice bullish engulfing candle around this 77.50 area or 77. So look for that to hold. 930s here. Let's do some oil. Let's do whatever. Gold out there. Let's see if gold gets moving. I'm still looking at a lot of inflationary trades. I know Zunaid will be watching some tech trades, so I don't even got to worry about that. And we got Ryan, of course, catching all the news on Benzinga Pro. So let's get after it. Let's get to the market. You guys have a good one. Take care.
Triple D, by the way, 3D printing.
Triple D.
Great quarter. They're up today. You might get a play in that. Looks like it's coming in a little bit.
Yeah, so to me, I would actually look for the play that I can't take today because I'm trying to land the interview, which is DM. I'm trying to land Desktop Metal on one of our shows right now. I'm not going to take that trade, but if Triple D is moving, I'll definitely put that out there. And just to kind of mention, DM also delivered one of their brand new printers, so they do have a catalyst that could push them above 430s today. Just putting that out there. I'm not going to take the trade, because I'm trying to get that CEO right now in an interview. But if you guys like it, I mean, hey, power to you, whatever you guys like. Make your own investment decisions. All right, let's keep going. Let's go. I got some energy today. Let's go. Target, yep, their earnings out there. We'll see how Target kind of continues making moves. Seen Hut. What else is being mentioned? Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, let's go. AA pops says Jay. We'll keep watching on that. DM been killing it, says Aaron Sachs. We'll see.
You've got Apple trying to approach 166. I'm not going to lie. I don't like anything right off the bat.
Me either.
Usually I like to take a dive and, take a little bit of risk, but.
Silver, big push on silver, guys. So I'll call AG. I'd keep a watch. Look how that nice little push right there. Looking for inflationary trades, right? Coal up already. BTU 4%, man. That stock's a monster. That's what I'll say about BTU. Another one that I like that I've been calling out is CIX. That one's looking interesting here. Steel also pushing on up there. Copper, gold pushing on up. Going to look for some gold trades here. See if I can catch a GOLD on a VWAP bounce trade back towards 2276. We'll see if we're able to nail that.
You've got puts coming in for Lucid, but it looks like it's already started this downside movement. So if it comes back and sets a support level and then tests VWAP, might be a decent area to go short there.
Hell yeah, I'll definitely short Lucid if it gets back to VWAP. Let me know if it gets back to VWAP today, guys. That thing looks like it's heading down towards 15.
15, god damn.
Hey, Zunaid, man, I call it how I see it, man. It's out of favor. EV's out of favor right now.
Is anyone's trading view acting up, or is that just me? If mine's like slow, let me know in the chat if your trading view is acting up.
Cliff Steel talked about it this morning. Pre-market already ripping out there, guys. Cliff's nice move right out the gates.
Yeah, mine.
One that I like just broke through that 100 level, pushed down at the gates there to 99.84, then broke through the 100. It's WFG, Wood Production Company. Talked about this pre-market. We'll see what happens out there.
KAVL got a little jumpy here right out of the open, took out 311. I'm actually not in this, but it's looking good here. So KAVL strong out of the open.
I like the hourly approach here on the hold of $3. So that's a nice breakout level today, guys. It's multi-time frame, daily level also. So I would look for pullbacks to the VWAP for VWAP bounce trade. It looks like you already got that at 304. Perfect entry for a risk off of $3 back towards 316. That's already a 4% move. You could be nailing that on the VWAP bounce. I really like this trade, Ryan. I'm just missing it too. But definitely that's a nice trade right there.
Yeah, it looks like TradingView is acting up for a few folks. Appreciate you letting me know.
All right, guys. So what is leading us right out the gates? It's energy, consumer defensives, and basic materials. So to me, it looks like the SPY should be down, and you actually see the SPY up. This is one of those confusing moments, right? Where you see, like, normally these stocks have a tendency of pulling the SPY down a little bit there, and you're actually seeing it push on up there. So a little confusing if you're watching the SPY.
I was watching 320 on KAVL. It took it so fast I couldn't even buy.
So all right, there's that deep pull back there for MRO. It's kind of what I'm looking for. It's a move down towards 2250s, 2225s today. We'll look for deep pullbacks on that.
It's interesting you mentioned KAVL because right when I went there, I saw a line, and that's exactly where I rejected through because it looks like we played it back on the 15th of Feb.
Yeah,
and we had those same lines, and that's exactly where we rejected through.
All right, looking at gold for a trade right now, guys. All right, I'm going to try to take it right there. Just got in there, 84s, wanted 81s, but hey, it happens, guys. Sometimes you're going to get a little bit of a fill up. I have a limit 3+, so it did literally give me that limit 3 up. So let's see if gold can break out through 23 here. Risk is down towards 2272s. We're already to 2290s. Let's see if we can get this to continue through 23s here.
I had an alert set and it just went off. I'm going to go ahead and take OXY. Went ahead and took the 45.50 calls expiring this week. Got filled at $1.39. I like how I broke out over 45. My stop loss will be below 44. So if you want, a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to wait in case it comes back and get in commons as well. But that's the options trade I'm in. OXY 45.50 this week call.
All right, guys, we're going to look for AG to also pull back closer towards 1145 for the VWAP bounce type of trade. Gold is working well for me right now. Looks like it's going to break through the highs. We'll see if this continues to run, but I am looking at also silver for a play today.
Let's see. Oh, there's my Lucid One Lotto play that I took yesterday. Thank
Lucid
you.
back at VWAP being alerted in the chat there. I'll take a look there. Almost there. To me, VWAP is a little bit higher at 2424s. So I'm going to actually look for a push back towards that 2440s, and then I'd probably get short there. Let me know what happens on that one, guys. Keep an eye on gold.
Let's see.
All right, so from the open, guys, there's only one sector in the red, which is financial services. Everything else in the green, so look for maybe potentially to see some green continuation there.
I'll take a stab here. I'll take Lucid puts. I went ahead and took the 2350 puts, got filled at $1.10. Stop loss will be if it can get over 2460, which is pretty much right above VWAP for me. You can see it on here. Profit target would probably be around 2360, 2340. But if it can find some buyers here and push us through with volume, I will be stopped out.
All right, someone alerting us to STEM, STEM. Not a bad one to take a look at. We'll see if Lucid can get that there. I'm looking for gold to break through 30s here, and then I can start looking at Lucid. Want to take some profit into the above 30 move and let the rest of it work there.
Come on, Lucid. Reject yourself. Swipe left.
All right, I want to see the buyers step up here.
Swipe left. That's actually pretty funny. I like that today.
Okay, AAPL coming through there, guys.
But if it takes out 323, it should pop. There we go. Oh my God, not really popping here. There we go. Didn't pop as much as I wanted. Didn't really get much on that, unfortunately. Hopefully it resets here, though. Looked like it was actually going to come back in and take 23 out. Now it seems to be going. So looks like I sold it a little bit early there. I got out at 328. Here we go at 335. So I was just a little too jumpy on that one. But that's good to know. We'll hit this next one. Still made a little bit of profit, but nothing to be happy about.
All right, guys, about to take some profit in gold here as we break through the 23s. Let's get that breakthrough 23s, take some profit, let the rest of it work here.
All right, one hand, I'm out. Lucid, 82 cents loss. So got in at 110, out at 82 cents for a loss. The other trade, you're up
just sold
20% on OXY.
Half of gold out. Going to let the rest of it work, break even. Looking for Lucid now.
OXY, I'm going to go ahead and close half my position here at about 20% gain, out at about $1.67.
IRNT looks like it's going to take out 5 here. That's interesting. And these are cyber. So IRNT is a cyber play, and CYRN, which I had on the list, is a cyber play as well. These haven't been hit yet, but I mean, if these come on today, you could have trades in multiple names across the way.
Square looking strong out the gates, guys. You guys don't take your eyes off those payment stocks. They've been so drilled down that even I'm starting to take a look at them. I might pull the red flag off. All right, guys, looking at GeoLD, Lucid. What's another stock we're looking at, guys? There's Lucid rejecting from the breakout above 2460s. I'm going to look for another push towards
There goes IRNT
2450 and
through
get
5.
short.
Sorry, it was, yep, not in that one.
AAPL, look at this chart, guys. And Jay was really quick to it in the chat. So you guys, if you guys ever see Jay call something out, doesn't mean that I want you guys to trade with him, but don't be mad about just taking a look or just taking a peek to see if he's calling out something that is moving. Look at that trend move right there. That is what you want to see, guys. You know what you call this? Inflation, baby. It ain't going away, man. It's annoying, but I'll tell you right now, the Fed are handcuffed as can be. Inflation showing up today.
Yeah.
Gold pushing up there through 23.05s there. Going to continue. Look at that. Look at that move in AAPL. This is a 1 minute chart, guys. Boom, on that one candle already 1.484%. This is why I wanted to keep watch on basic materials today, guys. Lucid looks pretty if it can come back towards 2440s. Definitely wanted to get short there, missed the short. I'm looking for also AG to pull back here. Silver ripping on out there, never came towards the VWAP. I'll look for pullbacks to the VWAP, but it's already up there towards 1178. That's a 3 or 4% move right out the gates there.
Man, look at IRNT. That was it. This moved quickly through 5, so I didn't get a piece of it. But IRNT,
there you go. Nice little move there.
We might get. There might be more here, so I'm not.
Yeah, keep calling them out,
right
Ryan.
now,
keep calling them, man. Keep calling out the big movers, especially those quick ones. If you see it setting up also for us, like if you see it like near that 5 point, I would love to find out near that 5.
See, here's the thing here's what I'm looking at on IRNT. While I think this goes higher, the reason I'm not piling in here to buy it is because I think they actually pull this thing. Here we are sitting at 528. I wouldn't be shocked if they pulled this thing down to 515. So the last thing I want to do is buy a couple of thousand shares only to have it yanked back as soon as I buy that. So waiting for a setup is just part of being disciplined instead of just chasing and gambling.
Would you set a limit order at 5 or no?
No, because things can change in a hurry with these, Zunaid. So if it let's say it starts coming back in, we see a huge seller show up, just dumping massive shares, and it's like a refresh seller or something like that. I don't necessarily want to catch that knife. Now it feels like I'm knife catching, So no, not necessarily. I'd rather actually just kind of play the momentum.
Hold my beer.
All right, gold looking great for us there, breaking up there to the resistance, looking awesome there in GOLD. Going to continue to hold that. That's been an awesome trade today. Basic materials up 0.7%, silver up 5%, aluminum up 4%, coal right behind it 4.5%, BTU up almost 9%. VWAP bounce trade again on BTU. People that are missing out on this trade on BTU, I just don't even know what's been going on in coal. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is a nice little pushback, guys, on BTU. We'll see if it can continue going. CIX is another one to keep on watch. That's been going great. We'll keep these on watch. Steel also starting to get moving there. Keep your eyes on it to see if NUE can catch the VWAP bounce here, get back up through the highs. That's another one that I'd call out. X, you can also see it's trying to do a VWAP bounce type of trade right now. Has gone down below VWAP multiple times. A little choppy here, but look for it to kind of extend when it gets towards 2770s. Lucid didn't come back towards the 40s there. I could get short here, but I don't like getting short here. I should have gone with my more original plan in the 2440s. We'll see if it gets back there.
IQ is interesting here today as well. No trade in this yet. Definitely interesting watching it move. Was actually just watching the 505 level. They took it, but they put more stock. They offered out more stock there. So it looks like there's a refresh seller right above 5 here. High a day break at 510. This thing's no stranger to runs. I do not have a position here. Will be interesting to see. This is also very highly shorted, if I'm not mistaken, right? 15.5% of the float is short. According to our short numbers here. So this one here, and here's the pull. So this is actually exactly what I was trying to avoid in IRNT, this pull on the 1 minute stick here. Haven't got it yet, but keeping myself protected. Watching IQ here, I think we set up again for take out that 510. Here's IRNT. This is exactly why I wanted to wait. This is exactly, I just told you why I didn't want to chase the stock, and now we're getting a pull on here. So this actually might set up again.
Yeah, just to touch the VWAP there. One thing I do see is one drive and then a pullback here. So look for sideways consolidation near the 496 $5 area. That's probably the area that I'd be looking for pullbacks. 484 is a resistance that you can use as support. So look to see if that comes into play. But definitely did make a nice move right out the gates there. Lucid looks like it's trying to just wash on out now. Wasn't able to get the short on Lucid today. Still holding the gold trade, guys. It's up to 23.14s, guys. Original entry on that is 84s. We're up more than what we got, 30 cents there. Not looking too bad there. 30 cents on up there in GOLD.
IRNT, Ryan, you see where that spike stopped? $5.
I'm sorry, I was say that again.
I said IRNT. You see exactly where that support came in, right at $5. And that's the reason I asked, because a lot of times with these low floats, again, you know, I'm not the expert on these, but I've noticed that they, just like other stocks as well, whole numbers, they work out really well.
Yeah, there's no question. That's no, definitely.
Definitely something to keep an eye on there for sure. Now, Lucid, this trade, obviously I was short. I got stopped out. And then when I go ahead and look at the 1 minute, I can see why I got stopped out. On the 5, you can see that it rejected off of the EMA. That's on me for not keeping an eye on the 5 minute and just the 1 minute. It is still below VWAP. I still believe this is a short here, but you want to come back and maybe test the 2440s, 2450s to go short again. On those Lucid. By the way, OXY, you're up 26% on those contracts. We got in at $1.39. They're trading at $1.72. Please scale out. Why did I take it? Because it broke out of 45, which I had a trigger on, and it looks like it's going to continue its march. But please scale out.
All right, I really like that KAVL, Ryan. That's setting on up. Just went back towards VWAP. Yep. That's 1, 2, 3 times to try to break VWAP here. As long as it can hold VWAP at 320s pullback, I think you can get through that resistance. There is some selling pressure up there, I will tell you. I'm seeing it on the time and sales. They're showing up at 33s. There's a lot of selling. 8,000, 5,000, 3,000, 5,000. So that's the level that you want to see break on out here if you're looking for maybe like a scalp above 34s. We'll see if this one can move there. That's KAVL.
And then the other thing to keep note here, man, volume's pouring in here. Definitely watching the volume on plays like this. If you take out that 337 high, you might get a pop there too. And that's generally what we scalp for. That's one of the ways to keep your risk low, right? So basically the way I'm looking at this, if we take out 337 and I can get in and out really quickly, that's to me a good entry, even though we are kind of extended here. My stop would be obviously break even, just to try and keep the losses as small as possible. I'm okay only making, 100, 150, $200 on this single trade, especially if I feel like I can repeat this throughout the course of the day. There's 337, it's out. I was talking and not in it. So we only popped a couple of cents. Okay, so there we go. So it's through it, but it didn't actually start moving yet.
The volume's coming in there. That's what you want to see. So the volume above that 34 mark. So remember how I called how that 34 mark is very important because you saw sellers there. Once you get clear of that 34 mark, you want to see the bid come to that 34 mark and it start filling there. And also you want to see some people taking the offer and stepping on up above the offer. Maybe at like 43s, maybe at like 41s, like you're seeing now the volume go through there. That's why I was looking at this trade, guys. Literally the time and sales is what's going to help you here. Not even the level 2 by itself, because the level 2 is just flipping all over the place, right? You can't even watch those numbers move. But one thing you can do is you can filter out big orders. That's how I was able to see where the big orders were first running into some selling and then stepped up to the plate above 34s.
Yeah, and look at it now. Look at it. It took 334, took 337, went to 352 day high. So when you're talking about scalps, I mean that's 20 cents right there. That I mean couple thousand
good
shares.
Yeah, $200, $500, $700 trade. Easily there.
Yes, that's one of the whole points we're trying to look here. By the way, a shout out to ATXI. I said that I thought that one might come back in. It completely reversed. I was totally wrong on this. Looks like we tested that dollar level. Through $1 might give you more of a pop here.
OXY, I'm going to go ahead and get a lot more contracts here. Only got one remaining for fun out at $1.95.
You play that oil, baby. I love oil, not gold.
Money. But yeah, please scale out. You're up about 40, 45% on those contracts. Please scale out.
Oil, baby. All right, let's keep going. Let's find some trades now, guys. It's getting towards 9:50, guys, so just be careful. We're starting to see that time where we start seeing a little bit of a pullback action. So for me, what I'm going to do is necessarily I'm going to set a stop on gold at break even on these last little shares, and then just kind of let the trade work because it's looking pretty well. We could get up there towards 23.20s, and then above there, we could take the last profit. So just setting the stop there, break even, and going to let this trade just work.
And alcohol is just unbelievable this morning.
Lucid back at VWAP there, guys. I wanted to test up there towards 24.48s, and then eventually that's where I'm going to start hammering short. But I need to see sideways action there and kind of create a third high. So if you look here on the 5-minute, you're going to see kind of a trend of a bear flag kind of a trend. I'm actually looking for it to come back on up. You see, this is the line here that I'm looking at as the red line here. We're looking for it to come back towards that and then reject one more time and then take this out on the downside. All right, let's look around, guys. Let's try to find some trades out there. I did see discount stores not doing bad there. That's, of course, because of Target's pullback. Big rip in the earnings.
Real quick, Mitch, ATXI halted. We were just talking about that and made a nice push into 112. It is halted right now. So just be aware.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt.
It was 70 cents. Like, oh,
it
wow.
could open up at 140s. So just be careful.
It was 29 cents yesterday.
One of the things, this is a clear example chart of how I like to trade penny stocks, guys. So if we want to try to trade penny stocks, one of the biggest things that I look for on penny stocks is a stock that was coming down significantly to the point to where you're almost getting worried, is this going to zero? Then you're going to look for a extreme pop in pre-market above $1 to give you the signal that we want to go back above $1. This one gives you the signal in pre-market at 8 p.m. yesterday. It was aftermarket, and it went to a high of 137. So you start thinking, okay, so what if we can get back towards $1? That's how I would start looking at this. So how can I approach this so I can measure my risk here, and then at the same time look for that pop above 1? Because now that you're above 1 and you hold it at 113, you could easily open up at 140s. And I mean, if you caught that $1 entry, just even there towards the 40, that's a 35-40% win. So you have to know how to use these. But I've always seen these all the time where it goes to $1. Then next thing you know, you start trapping towards that $1. Like here it went to 90, then went sideways, came back all the way to support, then broke on out. So I see these all the time. I think it's the only way to kind of attack these is you're looking for that $1 breakout, and you're going to look to sell almost immediately into the momentum. I don't like holding or swinging these, but it's up to you if you like it.
Yeah, Mitch, to just kind of piggyback off that, there's no way I would hold this. To me, that would have been a really, really quick scalp. You had called it out there. When you're if you're in at 1 and you're out at 140, I mean, that's good for a trade for me. I don't need to hold it for any longer than that, especially on something like that. I'm watching IQ here for a 510 bust.
Looking for pullbacks in basic materials, but not getting it. Really, I can tell you right now, silver hasn't even pulled back all day.
Hook 261 high.
Aluminum hasn't pulled back either.
Man, you've got me tempted on this IQ, especially if it's around $5.
Well, I mean, in a day that you're getting multiple halted stocks, and you're getting the momentum in the cheaper names, it's not a bad approach. This is an ascending triangle now showing on up. Breakout is above 512s. If you draw this on up here, you can draw a horizontal line on the resistance. See how this is coming up? Rule of 3 comes into play here, guys. And I'll try to draw it out before the breakout. But rule of 3 comes into play here, guys, and you start just drawing it out for yourself. Where are the resistance touches? Where are the support touches? Once I get that third touch of resistance, 1, 2, 3, I'm just looking for support to hold. As long as support can hold, we're looking good. And what I would use is actually that trend line to hold. Now it's okay to come back towards, let's say, $5, but you don't want to see it break below this area of that $5 range here. So even a small pullback could give you the wick there, but I wouldn't want it to break, let's say, like 498 at this point. You'd be looking for that trade on up through there. So the rule of three, you guys can look at it as Elliott wave theory.
Looks like they have a refresh seller at 509 on IQ. It's trying to take that out, unable to do so. Also, just kind of keeping an eye on IRNT here. Busted through that 530 level, pushing up towards 540. I don't know if IRNT is done. And if we get any type of headlines with cybersecurity or cyber warfare, look for all these plays to get ignited again.
Okay, so if you see here on there's 121 there at 508. What you're looking for that is to actually flow through and show up on the time and sales. So now there's 256, 278. NASDAQ is the one that I'd be paying attention. And right there, you get
IQ pop.
There it goes, right through 510, just like we said. Not fast enough to get it. Actually had my order in at 509, didn't get filled. So nice. By the way, so let's talk about that real quick. When you try to get on some of these breaks, I mean, the one on IQ, they're normally not this clean. That was about as clean as it gets. We saw all of those candles butting up against that 510 level. It's about as clean as it gets. Mitch, you actually had it on your screen there. It was incredibly visible. Let me throw that back up. If you don't mind.
I got you. I'm just starting to look at some other trades, but
I'll put it on mine. I'll put it on mine. So what happens? Here's the thing. Like what I try to do, I generally don't like using market orders for anything. That probably causes me to not get some of these scalps. And I'm okay with that. I don't want to have my market order carried several cents above and now have an entry price that I didn't expect. That throws me off my plan. So I'm okay missing some and using limit orders. So what happened right there is that as it was trying to take down the wall at 509, I put my order in for 2,000 shares at 509. It didn't. It actually popped through 509. Did not fill me on my order. And the first thing that I did, I waited for like 2 seconds and then I canceled the order. Because what I don't want to have happen is have that move up to 510 and then have them, or 511, and have them pull that, fill my order on the way down, and now I'm scrambling because I'm not playing the momentum break. So I pull my order right away. I wait for it to reset up. Again, that's a discipline thing going on there. Trying to do whatever I can to stop myself from chasing.
All right, guys. All right. It's time to keep it going. Let's go. Let's go. Time to take some profit. Let's go. Boom. Let's get out of this gold trade.
Kyle, real quick, just to answer your question. Where was your stop? Had I have gotten filled at 509, my stop probably would have been 506. I keep it very, very tight on that range break.
Damn,
remember,
really
I'm just looking for a break.
Just
Holy
took
shit.
the profits in gold, baby. Let's go. Not a bad trade there.
Are you at a BTU as well?
I never got into it. I was just calling it out. It was a nice VWAP bounce trade again. I just missed it out the gates. It was a really nice VWAP bounce trade.
You were swinging something that was working out for you well. Was that gold or was that something else? I think you had another trade.
AU. I already sold
That's
that
what
one.
it was. I knew there was another one.
It's still doing well. I mean, look at AU. Look at it. It's higher than when I sold it. You could still have this. Man, you would have literally been making like 30, 40%. We got in over here, guys. Look where it's at now.
And what type of stock is that? Oh, it's gold.
Gold,
I see it.
baby.
I see it.
I love gold.
I love gold.
Let's keep it going. Let's go.
Apple is literally just barcoding. Look at here on the 5-minute.
Yeah. Sure is.
You guys are giving me FOMO. We'll calm it down, Postman. No worries.
Yeah, that's actually something, Kyle, scaling.
That's a good comment.
Nicely done, man. Nicely done. So that's one of the things that I try to, it's hard. It's a hard line to walk. I want to be able to call things out as fast as possible, but a lot of them move quickly. I don't want you to feel like you have to chase these things because that's inevitably how you're going to get hurt. And that's why we talk so much about the process here. If you can understand the process, you're not going to need us to call stuff out. You're going to be able to see it materialize yourself.
Oof. Missed this steal move. I wish I would have caught that. It's nice little push now. See Cliff. Yeah, VWAP bounce trade on Cliff. Nice little VWAP bounce trade. Look, multiple entry opportunities breakout through the high of 23.05, getting up there towards 23.30s. It's a nice trade right there. NUE also pushing on up. Steel looking well today, guys. So look for that to kind of continue moving.
Kyle, you're making my entire morning right here. Thanks for the trade. I applied my own analysis. That's exactly what we want to do. If we help you guys with idea generation, awesome. If you have your own process on top of that you're following and profiting from, hell yeah, let's go.
You know what I get to say today? I finally get to play it. Someone actually gave me this sound and was telling me to play it. So, you know what? Give it to you. It's gonna give it to you.
You've been waiting for that one. you've been waiting for that one.
Let's go. X gonna give it to you.
That's a little throwback. Taking a look at OXY, you can see that we scaled out majority. I literally just have one contract left, and you can see the bounce off of VWAP. We talk about it often, so if you missed it, that could have been your re-entry. I did not re-enter. I still only have one contract left, but it should be interesting to see how it plays out near VWAP when it comes back. The stop loss should be below entry, which is about 45 is where we got in on those. And yes, that is DMX. RIP.
It's been a good morning.
All right, there you go, Lucid.
You guys are pumping me up.
Lucid, guys, I'm about to get short on this bad boy.
Yeah, this is what I've got on Lucid right there. You can see I'm keeping an eye. If you're going to get short here, it looks like you are. 45 would be my stop loss above me personally.
Just took it, guys. It's matching up what I wanted to do. So remember, I'm looking at it like this: 5-minute rejection of it going above the 48. Look how it went directly to that level. Literally, the high there is 24.48. That was the level I called out to the penny. And so now I'm just letting the trade work here. Now we should see this break the bear pattern here towards the downside, towards 23.78. Let's see if we can nail this bad boy.
Real quick, Ringer Racing asking, good show. Does joining give you a shorter delay? Mitch, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we have any delay set. So any delay that you're having is inherent to YouTube and StreamYard. Is that correct? We don't delay anything.
No, we do not delay anything. We even have it on low latency. The only problem is that, unfortunately, in a live streaming environment, we would have to use a different platform than YouTube if we would want to be live to the second. I could lower down the resolution, but then it would have people complain about the charts.
Yeah. Instead, what we'll do, Ringer Racing, we will try to call things early and still go over the process so that you can see these in real time. The goal of this show is not for us to shout a ticker and then have the room buy it. That's not going to be sustainable.
That's not it.
That's not going to be profitable. That's not it. Thank you, Mitch.
That's just not it.
That's just not it. So we want to teach you other habits that are going to make you more consistent to where you don't need another stream. That's really the whole goal. I will try and call some of these early as they approach these levels, but what's going to be more important to that is that you understand what to do at these levels without someone else. Just because me or Zunaid buy something doesn't mean that it's going to go up. Zunaid kids all of the time about watching him lose money. It's like, we can't make these things go, so it's more important that you understand the process.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I will say, so I just tested
procedure. Yes.
You've got about a 4 to 5 second delay on YouTube. Twitch has about a 2 second delay, and I know that because that's usually where I'm at. So take your pick. So if you want, you can hop on Twitch.
Have a Twitch stream.
And Ringer Racing is saying, thanks. Some other shows are delayed unless you join. That's why I'm asking. We're going to give you everything.
What do you mean join?
Oh, I know what it is. I know what they're saying. So a lot of people put up like their chat room on YouTube, and they put it up on a 15-minute delay. So you're seeing their chat room, their paid chat room, but it's like 15 minutes after. One thing that I can tell you right off the back, you don't even need money to be here, guys. All you need is experience, collaboration with our guest and our chat, because that's what I really love the most, is when we're building together as a community. But you don't need a single dime to be here. Now, how do you support us? Just hit that like button. That's it. We don't ask for $200 a month so that you guys could watch this. I mean, I'm pretty sure at this point we could, but it's more along that we want to show you guys our process and not copycat trading. I mean, if that's what it was, I mean, we'd probably call ourselves an alert room.
EMBL. This is actually a stock that a number of people like here at work, and it's under $1. I want to grab some of it, but I don't know. I'm struggling. I generally want to buy things that I want to hold for a while when the price is low like this, and just kind of wait on it.
Esports entertainment.
Yeah, they do like a betting. They allow people to bet on, like, if you have a buddy in 2K, Zunaid, you can whip him, you can bet him on that platform, play 2K, and then pay out like that.
I would lose my job. I thought it was more so like, I don't know, operations or production, but yeah, I guess it makes sense. It literally says gamble in the ticker. That's my fault. Yeah, I would get fired if I did that. Yeah, not gonna do that.
Not allowed to put bets on, dude.
Not on sports that I'm broadcasting. No, literally no.
Okay, FIFA. Let's change it. FIFA.
All right, that's different. Yeah.
All right, guys, might get stopped out here in Lucid. It's squeezing on up. Past 68s is my stop out, guys. It's testing it. It went right to that level. So I'm thinking that let's give ourselves 2 cents away from that. Let's give ourselves 24.70 here. If we do see it above 24.70, I'm going to immediately get on out here. There it is, out of the trade there, guys. Squeeze there in Lucid. It could come back into our entry, but one of the things is we're going to respect our box there, especially when you're in a short and you're looking for something to give you immediate gratification. If it doesn't go your way, I would much rather get out and get back in than to fight it here.
Someone said Twitch is horrible. It's interesting. I actually love Twitch. It's looking beautiful on my screen. I don't know. Maybe check the settings.
What are you watching?
No, someone was just talking about our stream on Twitch versus YouTube, and they said Twitch is horrible. And I was like, I like Twitch, but anyway,
I'm not a big fan of Twitch, but I don't watch gaming. That's just me.
Yeah,
I do. I do. I don't know what to tell you. Real quick, I think that's 30 FTJ 13. You're asking me. I don't have a spot for entry on CYRN. I would be following volume, and so far the volume looks anemic today. So I wouldn't even try to buy this. I guess looking at the chart here, the spot that really kind of jumps off the page here is 5 even for a potential bounce. But honestly, for this type of trade, I need volume for this trade to work out. So until I start seeing that volume, I'll probably just pass on that.
Man, now I'm tempted to take this Lucid short just because I feel like break of 25 would be my stop loss. All right, look, I'm going to take a very small size just because I'm stubborn.
Where
is it at? Here we go. Today. Here we go. All right, I'm in at 80 cents. Do not take this. Do not. This is just a revenge trade for me. Please don't. Just again,
the dreamers are trying to take our money today, Zunaid.
Yeah, I mean, but here's my stop loss. My stop loss is above 25. All right, let me make that very clear. I am in at 80 cents. I have the 23.50 puts. And I could very easily get stopped out. Literally,
we'll let you know there's 26,000 shares there at 24.80s.
Yeah.
Guys, okay, so Chermo, sorry if I didn't mean to interrupt you, Zunaid. I got all.
I'm good, buddy. It's all you. Go ahead.
All right, interrupt me if you need to when you're looking at this trade. Here's the one thing I actually wanted to cover this the day that it happened, and we got way too carried away. There was a lot of stuff going on, and then Putin's dumbass invaded Ukraine, the whole 9 yards. So what I wanted to cover here was DraftKings. So first, let's set the stage here. Take a look at the daily chart, and let me zoom in here. Okay, so right here, this top right here, this is the start of football season. This bottom right here, right here actually was the Super Bowl. So the entire NFL season, DraftKings did nothing but trade down. It was a great short if you were short. But now that trade is over, we're looking for, hey, how can we tell if the bottom is in? Couple of things to look for. Number one, bottoms are generally not perfect V's like we've been talking about. They're often messy. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of figuring out on those levels. We're kind of seeing that here, another test of this lower level. But more importantly than that is going to be the capitulation of everyone else that thinks that this stock is worth so much more. And we saw that happen on here. Here it is. On February 22nd, we saw a whole bunch of analysts come in here and downgrade the stock or adjust price targets. Roth Capital upgraded it to neutral, but lowered the price target at the same. They upgraded, but lowered the price target. Think about that. The Canaccord lowers the price target to 55. Lol, you might be a little behind the sticks there. A lot of these other companies, Deutsche Bank, B of A, Truist Securities, Wells Fargo, they readjusted all of their price targets. When you see that, that is sometimes how you can figure out, you know what, the bottom might be and we might be due for a reversal.
I
This
really
was
like
February 22nd. Let me get the exact price on that because now I'm curious. February 22nd. February 22nd, the high on February 22nd was 1896. We didn't even trade a 19 handle. Here we are, what, 6-7 days later, February, 8 days later, 9 days later, sorry, we're at 2460. So this right here, that marked the bottom. Look at the volume. Look at all of this buying volume since that happened. That was probably the bottom. So if we look at DraftKings now, maybe we're in a bounce. I'm sure your next question is, how high are we going to bounce? Unfortunately, I don't have that for you. I don't have that answer for you. But it looks like the bottom is in here on DraftKings.
How do I get the ticker in the background for TradingView? I believe you go right. Well, if you want to switch it back to my screen. Oh, I guess within Pro, you got it. There you go.
Click the settings cog. Then you click the watermark option. And
There
the
you
watermark option is going to turn on and off the
Voila.
ticker overlay.
Voila.
Voila.
Let's keep going. Explain a little bit what you look at to know that there's 26,000 shares. Time and sales.
Level 2. Are you looking at time? Wait.
Time
You're
and
looking at time and sales?
To actually see it go through.
Oh, go through, yeah.
So there's a difference, right, guys? Orders that you're seeing on level 2 are active orders. Orders that you're seeing on
Orders
time and sales
pending.
are filled orders.
Dun, 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 dun. Someone said LOL Chermo. Who said that? It's one of us.
I did. That was me. Because he was telling me to check my crystal ball when I couldn't tell you where I knew it was going.
It's on low battery, just like my puts. I'm out here. So look, my revenge trade, I got in at 80 cents. I'm out at 73. It cost me 7 cents. Life.
What do you think about Lucid? I don't know, man.
Well,
All I know is I'm glad I'm out.
The reason I went ahead and took Lucid is very, very small sizes because of the fact that it was brushing up against the 25, and I wanted that to be resistance. Here's why. Let me go back to my Lucid chart here. Let me kind of try a little bit of crayon there. You can see 25 was acting as support, and I was hoping that it would end up acting as resistance. So far, I was wrong. But something else to kind of think about, and the reason I went small instead of normal size is because you can see on the 10-minute, it's higher highs, and that usually means watch out, don't be stupid. But, you know, it's Tuesday. Who doesn't want to be stupid on a Tuesday? Small size.
I'm not.
Take it out.
Ringer Racing on toss. What is a gold order going through the time and sales? I only see red and green in my time and sales. I don't see gold.
Okay, so gold will probably, it just depends on your brokerages, right? I mean,
he's talking about the same broker that I'm using, the same platform on top of
same
it.
settings, probably. There are different settings you might have.
Gold
Gold is when Mitch pushes an order through. That's what.
Yeah, that could be it.
It's okay.
No, so it could be above ask or below bid. There's a color for that. That's what I would tell you to look at. So whatever your color is set for above ask or below bid is that coloring.
Gotcha.
Boom. I got you guys. I look at that all the time.
DKNG, now that we talked about the long-term aspect, really strong today. Bouncing right off that 2350. Really moving nice.
Twitch. Twitch being called out.
Twitch owned by Amazon. Yeah, well, would you look at that?
How
Lucid trying to figure out what to do with its life.
Coming down. I might take some swing trades on this. Might take some swing trades. SPY coming down there, guys. Finally starting to show some weakness with the stocks that are up on the day: energy, defensive, and materials. I don't expect to see the SPY up, but now we're starting to see that leak.
Someone asked what trading platforms we use. I use E-Trade, Thinkorswim, TradeStation. Ryan uses Thinkorswim. Mitch, you use
a whole bunch, dude.
There you go.
I think I got like 5 brokerages right now. So
what are you trading on right now in this moment? That Lucid short, what'd you trade on?
That was Webull.
There you go.
Oh no, the Lucid short. I thought you said the gold long. I was talking about the gold long.
All right.
The
what
short
was the Lucid short?
The short was on that's an interactive brokerage because that's where I can find the most kind of shorts on. If you guys want to look for shorts, there's 2. Trade Zero and interactive brokerages are the 2 that I would suggest that you guys could take some dip into. Why? Because I find some shorts on there. The hardest thing to find on shorts is like, let's say TD Ameritrade. I don't find a single thing to short on there. It's very hard to find shorts on TD Ameritrade. Of course, Webull, you're not going to be able to find that. You're on Robinhood, you got to go with puts and things like that. So you got to, one thing that you got to do is understand what strategies you have and make sure that your brokerages support that strategy. So like, let's say if
That's a
you
good point.
are
That's a really
a
good
day
point.
trader,
That's a
a
really good
day
point.
trader should have access to direct ordering. And when I'm putting in those orders there, I got to make sure that I have access and understand the depth. Especially like, so let's say if you're trading with big sizing. I'm not trading with big sizing on these day trades. But even like, let's say sometimes you'll see Ryan take some scalps. Even with like that sizing, I would be careful. I would make sure that I know my ordering. And one of the things that you guys can start learning is, why does direct routing matter? I think just take a look at that. Do some research for your own knowledge to understand why you would want to have direct and what other brokerages are doing right now, and why that kind of is a disadvantage in day trading. And I don't think it's a disadvantage really in swing trading, because when you're looking at swing trading, you're looking at more than 1 or 2 cents, 5 cents. That's not going to make too much of a difference. But when you're talking about thousands and thousands of shares, when you're talking about these day traders, I mean, 10 cents is a huge, massive difference. Let's just be honest, right? I mean, at 1,000 shares, even 10 cents is $100, right? And so that makes a complete difference in the way that you're looking at your returns. So day traders out there, you really need to understand time and sales, order execution, and order routing for you to really get an edge in day trading. I'm going to let that know right off the bat. So if you don't know that and you're a day trader, I personally would say you're doing it wrong.
Oh, man.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's see what's on out there. Trying to make some trades here. Looking at this MRO, maybe for a VWAP bounce type of trade. That's why you guys see it on here. It did try to break down through the VWAP. I want to see this candle close and not get through 23.15. If I do see that, I could take a shot back towards 23.55 in MRO.
If you want to throw my screen back up, I went ahead and got into some equity because, again, this whole trade station thing is kind of cool. I like playing with it. Went ahead and took OXY here at 46.22. My stop loss is a bit wide. It is going to be below 45 because that, to me, was a breakout spot. But I am in that trade, as you can see right there, just 100 shares. And I still have my lonely contract remaining from the previous trade.
Dot Square, we appreciate that shout out all the way from France. We will continue to explain our process just like Zunaid did.
And yeah, and I'll keep talking. It's because it's in your VWAP and I like it. If I really wanted to, yes, I could have it be below 45.50, but here's why I went ahead and had a wide stop loss. My game plan is if it comes down to the 45 area, like right around here, right in this little box between 45.50 and 45, I'm going to go ahead and add some more shares. And then again, my stop loss will still be about 25 cents below. But for now, I want to see it continue its rise up. Around 47 is realistically probably where I'll take some profit off, but this thing kind of, where'd it go? What is it? Hang on.
Looking for a third attempt to break down a VWAP of MRO to hold, and then eventually if it can come back up through VWAP in about 2 minutes on the 5 minute, I'll take it.
Lucid is above 25, and that's why we got out when it poked its head above.
Freaking Lucid. Those dreamers take the money from us.
Yeah, I should have seen it though. Again, because you got higher highs here. You know, it is what it is.
Okay, so here's how you can look at multi-time frames sometimes, right? I try to call these out all the time, multi-time frame trades. So look at the 1 minute. So you get one attempt to break down, one attempt to break down, two attempt to break down on MRO. So we're looking for recovery of VWAP. But if you look at it on the 5 minute, what do you see? You see just a VWAP touch. That's how you can see multi-time frames being a little bit different. So the VWAP bounce trade is on here for the 5 minute. And on the 1 minute, they're looking at closer to this little bearish pattern here. It's a short pattern here. It's about, you're looking at 10 minutes, so probably about a 15-minute pattern that you're looking to build up on the 1 minute. And then you could look back. Is it doing a 15-minute hold? You'd want to see it get right back above that 23.15 and then try to come back out and take out the highs. Tesla pulling or pushing. Let's take a look at Tesla. There you go. Nice little push there in Tesla. Nice reversal there. Nice pushing on up there towards 874. Big pullback on the hourly chart. That's what at least it looks like to me. Look at the hourly support and how it comes into play and why I like hourly support so often, guys. Look how this hourly support holds so well here. You had multiple times to get on that hourly support, which is around the 856.70 mark. Let's say if you're looking at 856.50s, we went to a low of 856.70 on this 1 hour. Last hour, we went towards 857.30s. And before that, about at 8 a.m., you were at that 856.94. So that's why I look for those hourly pullbacks all the time to come into play. And then you look for the resistance breakout on the hourly. So that would be above, it's 876 going into the 900s.
Kyle's asked. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead. It's not a trade. Go ahead.
I was going to say MVIS approaching 417 here. A 417 is the intraday high yesterday. You break that, I think we pop here. We are currently at 415 bid, 416 ask. We are 1 cent beneath it.
Kyle asked about direct access routing and all that stuff there. The way that I understand it is whenever I use, say, like an E-Trade or whatever, my order goes to a market maker, and then he or she decides where to go ahead and throw that order. If I go ahead and use something like, say, Trade Zero, which I, would recommend, have an account with them as well, it's directly to the exchanges where my order goes to get executed. So theoretically, you get faster execution and better fills. Theoretically,
yeah, that's to keep it short. It's a lot. It's way more complicated than that.
Oh, absolutely.
But definitely, if you don't understand it, do the research that's needed. We also had Pre-Market Prep Plus had literally a whole hour on order execution, just to give you guys the insight of how much information is actually there and how much understanding should be. You should understand order routing, understand what an off exchange is, understand why certain exchanges are used for speed. Like if I need to put a speed order, I'm looking at ARCA. ARCA is my favorite exchange to get quick fills. Yes, this sometimes charges me some fees by going towards ARCA, but if I select that route, I can tell you right now, a lot of times I get the quick fill. Another thing to understand is if you look at the time, if you look at the market depth, you're going to be able to see certain orders lined up on certain exchanges. That's why it's important to have the full depth of the NASDAQ and the full depth of the New York Stock Exchange. There's so much here, guys. And that's another reason why day trading is so confusing, is that people don't understand that there's a lot more to play and understanding than just strategy and kind of order execution. The speed knowledge also needs to be known. How can I be fast on order execution, either in entry or exits?
Did I go ahead and take this trade? No, because I don't have a scanner that tells me when a stock is near $100. But just to talk about it, because we often do, here's a DoorDash, $100 bounce, psychological level. You can see you got a $3 move right there.
See, I've been supporting the ARCA route. Nothing beats it in fast filling. Yeah, I think that's my favorite route, at least if I need a fast fill.
So you guys have got me wondering now. Let me go ahead. Let me just change my order entry to 1 share in case I F this up. Let me see if I can select on TD Ameritrade which.
TD Ameritrade has direct routing.
Yeah,
I did not know that till about a couple of weeks ago.
So I have in my order entry tools, I have an exchange field. I can select best, ARCA, or NASDAQ.
Yeah.
Those are my options.
All right.
Easy for me to say. I leave this on best. In fact, I've never adjusted this.
Yeah, same.
It's very important.
Good to know, though.
I would say for like scalping, Ryan. That's where I would say it's important.
Okay.
All right, real quick on OXY, the trade that I went ahead and got in, you can see. Let me see if I can try to zoom this puppy in because I don't know how.
All
to
right,
zoom
guys,
in.
might take a shot here in GOLD for the retrade here, but I'll let Zunaid line up his trade.
Appreciate it. Real quick, you're in profit. You're up $50, $55. As you can see, this was our entry. The blue line, the green is where we're currently at. That's my take profit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not waiting all that much. I'm gonna go and bring this puppy down to 46.89. If I get filled, I'll let you know. But you're up about $60 on that trade, and that contract that we got. I'll tell you then, Mitch. You can go ahead and talk about yours.
No
that
worries.
Contract that we got at $1.39 is now trading at $2.20. And Lucid is approaching 30 cents from 26 bucks.
MVIS took out 417. I actually was hoping it was going to pop more than that. I'm in at 417, out at 420. Not really much on anything.
OXY went ahead and got filled on the out. So I am out of OXY. That is $67 with 100 shares.
All right, long here, GOLD, guys. VWAP bounce trade off the 5-minute. We'll see if it kind of works on out. This is how you can get in and out of a trade. And even if I already took a profit in this name, I'm willing to get back in it. 5-minute support is down towards 23. We wouldn't want to see it break 22.95s. Taking GOLD again here. Entry is off 23.04s.
And I hope folks understood why I took OXY. First time, breakout over 45. Second time, VWAP support multiple times. That's why I took it. And, you know, got blessed with this long candle. Keeping it
Let
PG.
them burn them shorts and blink.
You are welcome. You are welcome, John. Scale out, though.
Invest more says Tesla starting to rip. Not a bad one to take an eye out. Look like CCL buy zone. Gary Life 101. I'll take a look at that for a swing trade. Might take a shot in CCL as a swing trade. I've been wanting to put some swing trades on, guys. So I'm going to try to do that. Now that we're getting towards 10:30 and we'll be getting Ryan and Zunaid to be leaving, I'm going to be looking for some swing trades. So I'm going to start setting on up for that kind of look. We'll see what happens here in GOLD.
Yeah, someone wanted, I think it was Omar that wanted a swing trade.
Strike, man.
Relationships. That's the swing trade I have for you. Invest in that. I promise your life will be much better.
You swing trade relationships?
We swing trade relationships. We invest in them.
Does that mean what I think it
Don't-
can't?
don't-
No,
swing trade
no,
your
no,
girlfriend
no,
now.
no. Investments. We invest in relationships.
That's
Zunaid
way
putting
better
on
than
his
swing
girlfriend.
With
trade.
relationships, you go ahead and pull a Warren Buffett. All right.
I like it. I like it. I think Zunaid's really jumping on to that industry outlook type of trade. Why not, right?
Yeah. Like you
Get
put
in
that
an
in your
industry.
Roth IRA. You know what I mean?
So if someone had just joined, if an alien had just joined our broadcast and they see KY Jelly 69 asking Zunaid, are you telling us to be swingers?
So pretty much,
I didn't think that was going to
Tinder
happen.
is
this morning.
day trading. Match.com is investing. Hitch is swing trading. And honestly, this is why I should get out before 10:30 because I don't know where I'm going with this anymore. Why are you zooming me in on this?
Oh, Mitch. Mitch has the production touch, as we call
You
it.
like how I have a Swiffer on my carpet right now?
A few moments later.
One of my producers made fun of me. He's like, why do you have a Swiffer on carpet? What are you doing? I was like, no, like outside I have floors. Anyway,
I
when you
actually,
zoomed
thought,
in,
those
I
were, I
realized
actually
that.
thought those were gray hardwood floors, which I have in our suite. Gray color.
In the living room, yes, but in this room, it's carpet. But outside, which is where I use the Swiffer, yes, it is hardwood floors.
All right, guys. Back
IQ
above
really holding up well here,
2305s.
guys.
Above
Man,
2305s, I'll add. All right, let's go. Let's go, guys. AMC over 19. Man, did you guys see that move yesterday? I kind of sold early into it. I'm not even going to lie. It actually went all the way up to like 1950s or some crazy move. AMC, those apes, man.
Real quick, I'm going to shout out Jim's comment here. First of all, Jim joins our happy hour, our Benzinga Pro happy hour every day. Really appreciate you supporting us, Jim. Jim saying, Brian, before you leave, from our new cyber list, Crowd works with 14 of the top 20 banks. So what he's referring to is we actually came up with a list of different cybersecurity stocks that we were going to be watching when this whole conflict started. And one of the stocks that we put on that list was CrowdStrike. This was a couple of days ago. We're actually up nicely from that ad. I actually think that ad was in here in a 170 handle, wasn't it, Jim?
That is my favorite one from this week. I definitely loved that chart. So anyone that went after that one, CrowdStrike,
And
power
now
to
Jim's
you.
giving you some
I love
more
it.
context there. They work with 14 of the top 20 banks, so pretty good customer list there. This definitely going to be one of your leaders. I personally like Palo Alto Networks because that's one I've been following for a long time. But shout out to CrowdStrike here. It has a great move since we added it, and obviously a huge player in this space.
Definitely. Keep that on watch, guys. It's going to be one that I would watch. Another thing is, look at the leader. Remember how I look at the leader lagger type of trade? So Pan W, you look at Pan W, As long as that can continue in favor, you can continue staying in your CrowdStrike trade.
Look at this. I mean,
That's why I would look
this
at CrowdStrike, you know?
Look at the weekly chart of Palo Alto Networks. This is something, man, I wish I threw this in my IRA
in 2020. That's all I got to say.
Look at this. God.
In the pandemic, the first thing that started being called out was cyber plays. That was a shot. You could have got any of the cyber plays.
Wait, why cyber during the pandemic? Because everyone was working from home?
Yeah. And so they need you were loading the servers up, Zunaid, with like literally potentials to get hacked, right? And so if any time the hackers were active, it was when everyone was home and on their computers.
The biggest, not, regret's a strong word, but the biggest I wish I got into this play for me was probably Wayfair during the pandemic. Yep, because you got it here at $20 all the way to $630.
Ooh.
That's Wayfair. And then if you want another one,
they got just what you need, Zunaid.
Another one is Overstock. Look at Overstock. I think it was all the way at $2, riding the high to the 128s before it obviously marched its way down. But $2 to 128.
The only thing I can say, at least on Overstocks, I did catch two of those ride-on ups that you see on the chart. That second pop and the fourth pop.
I bought at
both
550,
30% trades,
and sold at 7 and thought I was God. And then I saw it a month later.
I can't blame you, bro.
You're not even a peanut.
Real quick, I just want to answer Michael's question here. Ryan, where can I find you after this? Michael, throughout the course of the trading day, I have other duties for Benzinga in the support department, so I'm not on broadcasting. In fact, a lot of times I'm doing something other than watching the market as judiciously as I am now. However, if you are a Benzinga Pro client, you can always join the happy hour. That is from 4 to 5 Eastern, right after the market closes. We do that every Monday through Thursday. And then, of course, we do live trading here with the boys.
With the boys.
All right. I'm going to go get my steps, but let me just recap. OXY, we took 2 trades on 2 tickers. OXY, breakout over 45. We went ahead and sold those contracts at about 40% gains. Then we got into some equities here with OXY around near VWAP, and then we went ahead and sold right here at 46.89. Now it's at 47.69. That last contract that I had, I'm going to go ahead and sell here, got filled at $2.60. We took that from $1.39. Now let's go ahead and talk about the L that I took. I went and took Lucid short because it was under VWAP. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. I thought I was going to test a low of day. I was wrong. Then the second time, I thought I was going to reject at 45 because of the support that I had previously. I was wrong. So 2 losses, but thankfully, as you guys can calculate, my Lucid losses were much smaller than my OXY gains. So that works out, and that's what you always want to do. But I appreciate you guys hanging with me.
Gary, I appreciate the shout out. Gary has been a stalwart supporter of that happy hour. We discuss everything there, from geopolitics to stocks to trade to new things to look for to current trades, process, the whole 9 yards. We've even had Mitch on there when his schedule clears up, which is rare because he's a busy dude. But I encourage everyone to check that out.
All right. Thank you, guys. Like always, you guys coming on in here, spending your time with our traders, building the Benzinga community here with live trading with Benzinga. So I appreciate you guys, like always, Ron and Zunaid. Thank you for spending the time. I'm going to actually play a tune here. You guys can get on out if you guys listen to it. Power to you. I wanted to actually play it a little bit before when you guys are.
Is it DMX?
Off. No, at least it's not DMX. It's actually going to be a shout out to kind of the situation that's going out there in Ukraine right now. So I want to make sure that we kind of are definitely showing some compassion out there. This is one of my favorite reggae songs. You got to get Soulja here, and this is Everything Changes. I will let you guys know there's a part of the song that is in Portuguese. So if you guys are out there, maybe from Brazil or maybe from Portugal, maybe you'll understand it. But that's just a verse. So just keep it on watch and check it out.
Now I got to stay.
You want to stay? All right, stay.
All right, see what we got.
I got you. Starting it up here.
Oh, I've heard this. Okay. I recognize it.
Let me know if it's too loud out there, guys. I'm gonna
Actually,
focus on some trades.
on my setup right here, you actually have the volume dialed in. It's literally perfect right now.
I've been working on it.
Hey man. Ron Willis, another huge supporter. Thanks for the shout, Ron.
Ryan, right when you said that, he turned it up.
I know.
You saw that, right? You saw
Right
that?
when you said that, he turned it up.
Couldn't help myself.
I'm out. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Take care, everyone.
Couldn't help myself, guys. I couldn't. All right, guys, let's keep it going, guys. Let's see what happens in this GOLD trade. Still in here from 2304. We'll add above 2306. TV. The music, Mitch. Smash the like, guys, if you guys are enjoying the tunes. Changes.
Only thing I know is that nothing ever changes. I'm looking down this road and nothing ever changes. No,
Nothing never changes. Let you guys know if I get my ad here. There you go. Just got the ad put on there, guys. Now have a decent amount here at 2305 here for GOLD. Don't want it to see it break 23 now is the risk here. We're going to slightly adjust the risk towards 2209. We're going to look for this to break back up there towards 2320s. Sell half of it there, the rest of it on the extension. Let's see if this can continue to make moves here, guys. And if we affirm vision act, and nothing ever changes. Nothing ever changes.
looking down this road and I can see this pain. It's only gonna go.
All right, looks like someone's taking Palantir out there. Let me see if my man Devin's available today.
Maybe we need more shoes on our feet. Maybe we need more clothes and TVs. Maybe we need more cash and jewelry. Or maybe we don't know what we need. Maybe we need to wanna fix it. Maybe stop talking. Maybe start listening. Maybe we need to look at this world less like a square and
More like a circle.
Maybe, just maybe, God's not unfair. Maybe we're all his kids and he's up there. Maybe he loves us for all our races. Maybe he hates us and we're all so racist. Maybe he sees us when we don't care. And it's heaven right here, but it's hell over there. And maybe the meek will inherit this earth, cause it was written for so. Everything changes. And nothing stays the same. No, everything changes.
All right, I'll bring it back down here, guys. Just wanted to give a shout out there for Ukraine. And definitely, guys, you know, one of the things that I see is that this is a battle of the same people. At the end of the day, they come from the same culture, coming from the same people. And I think that, you know, I really hope that things change out there, but just wanted to give a shout out and take a second there. Let's keep going with some trades out there, guys. We're looking at GOLD right now. I have been building up a position here at 2305. 23s is going to stop us out. Really, 22.99 is that out spot. And we're looking for a rise above this 2306 to get there towards 2320s. This is a VWAP trade off the 5-minute. We'll see if this can continue making on up moves. I'm going to take a second in a little bit to start going through some sector and industry analysis, looking at what stocks we could potentially be looking for some swing trades, but just trying to nail this gold trade right out the gates here. Bringing back down the music. Let's go ahead. Let's have some fun. Yes, definitely. Ben's World, job bless for sure. Let's keep going. What would you add here to Palantir? Let's take a look at Palantir. I haven't taken a look at that. Ukraine and Russia are two different people, two different cultures. They're not the same. Stop saying that. Hey, well, I mean, at the end of the day, if you look back at where their heritage comes from, right? If you look at that, that's what I would pay attention to. But hey, it's not a matter of trying to battle for that. Hey, maybe you got it right. I got it wrong. It's not about that. Focus on what I think is important here. Let's keep going. Let's take a look there at Palantir. I'm going to take my eyes off the GOLD trade here just to kind of go towards the 3 charts trading here. So on the right-hand side, you got GOLD. We'll keep watching that one. Lucid here. We'll see if that turns around ever. But Palantir is the one that we're taking a look at. If you guys see here, Matterport actually got strong here after the weak gate there. Take a look at that one too. Palantir now pushing on up there towards 1240. I would be looking for pullbacks towards the VWAP or towards this resistance towards 1206, 1210. It already kind of took off. And you can see here kind of a kind of flagging pattern down towards the support there, pushed above the VWAP. Right here, it went towards 1204, then pulled back all the way towards the VWAP. The VWAP was at 92. You got a low here of 91, 1191. You could have been attacking that entry here. So let's say if you saw this break there, you see this break on out here. You're looking for the pullback back towards the VWAP. You could have been attacking an entry down to here, risking off the lower support. So let's say you're down towards the 82s, looking for a push back above 12 in through the highs, 1210. Then you ride it up there towards the 1240. It's not a bad look. I would take a look at the hourly for resistance. Where could you get some resistance to come into play? I think you got up a move towards the 1250s, into the 1250s. You'll get into some resistance on the hourly. All right, guys, going ahead and taking a look at some of the stocks out there. Let's keep going. All right, nothing but love here. That's what it's all about, guys. Looking out there to see MTTR. Yes, that's being mentioned. SoFi being called out in the chat. Let's take a look. All right, SoFi setting on up here for the pullback. I like the hourly chart on these. This is why I look at hourly charts all the time, especially later in the day, guys. Take a look at these. You're going to be able to start seeing, okay, so where are we holding some support? Where are we holding some resistance? Right here, you get, what do you see here? You see a trend here. What do you see a trend? A higher lows, higher lows. So as long as those hold right now, I like this SoFi chart. And I'm just looking at it on the 1 hour, staying on the time frame. So as long as you see that continue, so higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, as long as that can continue on the hourly trend, you're still looking like you want to try to push back on up. We'll see if that can continue the trend there. All right, looking at some other things. Jay says market is dropping there. All right, so that's good for my gold trade if we can get that to start dropping. Let's take a look at the SPY. Yes, it is starting to drop. We are starting to see a little bit more of this crack. I've been waiting to see if we were going to get this crack here. And it looks like, you know, we rejected to get above 438 today. So we could take out the low here and really start downtrending. So just be careful. 431's underneath that. I would look for a break of 428s on the downside. Let's take a look at some basic materials out there, what you could be trading. Gold looking good now, getting into the green for me. We'll see if this can get up there towards 2320s and we take our first profit on this kind of bigger trade here for me. I'm still trying to keep an eye out, and let's keep going. Good for the SQQQs. Dollar Tree being called out in the chat. That could be moving based off of kind of the sympathy from Target. Look for Target to catch a bid now after retracing for a full hour. That's what I would be looking for. Does the hourly support hold here on Target? If you're looking at Target, I like the hourly support right there at 221. Looking for a move back above 230s. Dollar Tree is DLRT, DLTR, Dollar Tree. We're going to look here, same kind of pattern. Look for that 1 hour support to have held. So if you look here right out the gates, we went towards that 141.51. and the support here was 141.43s. Not looking too bad if he gets back through the resistance of 143.50s on the upside. I take a look at the 5-minute here. You want to make sure that these supports hold and it comes back up through here, getting up there through the 144s again for the 4th time. That would be the breakout look. If you look here sideways, what do you get here? You get a 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 2 down, 3 up, 3 down. Needs to hold this support here and then get right back up there through 144s. All right, guys, looking at this GOLD trade, once we pop through 23.10s, I'm going to put out an order at 23.19s to sell half of it and look for the continuation move. Trying to keep going and bringing a lot here, guys. Brent crude popping. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some oil trades here. Was thinking about, remember I talked about a potential trade here on MRO of recovery of 23.15s. We already got that recovery. It's starting to move on up there. So let's just take a look at some of the other ones that I like. XOM. This is one that I like. Now recovering the VWAP. Holding this pullback would be nice, 79.26. So look for a pullback maybe to 79.40s, and then you could risk off of that low there. We'll see if that can continue moving. That's XOM there. Gush is another one. If you're trying to day trade it, you could take a look at that one for a continued kind of scout look, and we'll see what happens there. Lisa Lee bringing in a good one here. LMT. LMT is Lockheed Martin. Has been doing great, guys. This is one of the daily patterns that in war times, a lot of times you're going to see if there's any concerns of war, everyone goes towards this LMT. And this is one of those herd trades that was not bad at all. If you took a look at this on Wednesday and Thursday, you were off the support. You could have been attacking this off the 390s, risking 10 points towards the 380s. Now you're looking to take some profit through the 420s. Now you're all the way up there to 450s. If you took this trade, you're already looking at a nice 16% return there. LMT, that's not a bad trade at all if you're able to nail that one. Gushing over Holly over there. Gushing. VIX being mentioned by Whitehorse. I don't think I have the VIX here, at least VXX, but I can look at VXM here. Very similar, looking like it wants to come through the highs. If you take a look here at the monthly, it looks like you're really starting to build some support underneath it here towards, let's say, 32s. We don't want to see it come back towards 31.50. Let's see if it gets towards 34. I can really get some volatility and some downside action in the SPY. We'll see what happens here. SPY really starting to break down there, going towards that 431 that I talked about. Below that is where I'll start really focusing. I've been looking at the hourly sideways trend here in the SPY. And remember when I talked about today that I was looking potentially for a bullish move? That was above 438s and holding. We're not being able to do that, so we're going to test the support. I'm going to see if it breaks at 431 and heads towards 428. All right, guys, GOLD now getting up there towards 23.11. Let's go try to take some profit here into this move here on GOLD. Can we get the rise? I'm on the 5-minute, looking for this to come up towards 23.20s. Then we're going to take half off and look for the continuation move. All right, I'm trying to do my best catching up with you guys in the chat. SM and energy play. I'll take a look at that one. W Tucker. I'll definitely do that. VXX starting to get a rounding long-term bottom. Yeah, I could see that at least on mine also. Can we still hop on LMT? Yeah, I would say you can do day trades, at least my personal opinion. But like always, guys, this is not investment advice. It's only educational advice. And my biggest thing on that would be that if you're trying to jump on LMT, now you're definitely late to the move. So you have to be quick to the profits because you could get pullbacks that could stop you out. All right, let's keep going here. What other ones are being mentioned? Elite, thumbs on up. They're rooting for you, man. Let's keep going. What are the stocks being mentioned? Dollar Tree, VXX. What other stocks you guys want to check out? Throw it up in the chat. All right, guys, we're getting almost to 11. Let me check where the likes are at right now, guys. I want to see the likes get on up there. We're at 331. Can we get to 400, guys? We got over 650 people watching right now. Do me the favor. Take 1 second here, guys. We do this absolutely for free every single day. So smash up that like button. Let's get it on up there. Drown me with these like buttons. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, baby. You guys like my shirt? I'm surprised no one's talked about my shirt. There you go, Zach. You just liked it for me. Appreciate you, man. Reggie being called out by Shannon and CGC by Elijah. I'll get into those. Tucker, what was the one that you wanted to get into? I don't want to miss that. I know that you requested one, so let me do Reggie and then I'll get back to you, Tucker. I know I saw you in the chat, so I'm going to scroll up to find it. It was SM. I'll touch that. All right, keeping an eye out on this GOLD. We'll see if it gets moving, but let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some of these other trades being mentioned in the chat. Regi is here, a renewable energy focus group. It's just sideways, but to me, this has gapped on up. It looks like to me, was there like a reverse split on this or a sell rumor or something like that, a purchase rumor? I think I need to look up the news. I can look up the news right now, but definitely, Shannon, this looks like news related. And when you get this sideways action, a lot of the times it's like kind of buyouts or something like that. So personally, I don't think it's a good touch right now just because it's sideways for so long. But let it break above and below these levels, let's say 62 or 60, then it could maybe start getting moving there. All right, let's go to that SM that Tucker wanted to talk about. So we'll get to that. I'm one of our members there. I want to touch that. Up there towards 38.29 there today. Nice VWAP hold there on the 5-minute. Nice little pullback there. So you can see here, it did kind of the red to green VWAP hold and then pushing on up there. We'll take a look at the daily chart, see how we're pushing on up. That looks really nice, actually. If you take a look at the monthly, you're also getting through a monthly high. And that's the important level too, because you're getting multi-time frames to get on up there through that level. So around, let's say 38 is the level where it really started pushing. And as you can see, 2 days, it's been going pretty well there. And today we just got through that 38. So I'd look for that 38 to hold on pullbacks. Let's say 37.90s, and let's see if it can continue closing above 38 today. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep it going. A lot of stocks being thrown in the chat. I got a lot to get into, so I'm going to take a quick second to just drink some water, get pumping here, guys. You guys don't go anywhere. I'm just going to play a quick commercial, and we'll be right back, guys. Check it on out, guys. Check on out. You guys are in the right place.
Did you know nearly all stock price changes of 10% or more result from a single news headline? That's right. News headlines have a unique ability to drive stock prices up or down. These news catalysts create trading opportunities every day. All you need is a little help to reach out and take them. And if you're looking to grow your portfolio, it doesn't matter if your investment budget is small or big. An easy-to-read stream of news headlines will increase your opportunities to profit from price changes in the stock market, consolidate a knowledge-based investment strategy, and grow your portfolio. All you need is Benzinga Pro and its powerful news alerts, price tracking, and portfolio monitoring to make a positive change in your trading performance. We've already helped thousands of retail traders across the world, and they could not be happier. Increase your market knowledge, boost your exposure to big movers, and make informed trades before major price changes. The opportunities are all around you. Subscribe now, and we'll skyrocket your portfolio today.
What are we doing out there? I'm back here. Let me go ahead and switch back towards the live trading one here. There you go. Keeping it going here. And I'm going to go ahead and reach on out there and maybe bring on our famous Tesla trader. I'm going to call him the Tesla trader because he loves to trade Tesla. So if you guys know who that is, throw it up in the chat. I want to see if you guys know who the Tesla trader is that comes on here. But I gave him the link here. We'll see if he joins on up. I'm going to take a look at some of these trades here. Still in this GOLD, looking for it to take on up. Don't really want it to take out 23s now because we finally got back above VWAP. We want to see VWAP hold now. That's around the 23.04 mark. So we're looking for that to hold, get back above the 23.10s towards the 23.20s. Let's take a look here at the SPY. What's going on? We're finding a little bit of a bounce there. Did not get through that 431. We'll see what happens on the overall market. Sectors, what are doing good today? Of course, we can take a look here. Energy leading us right now. Energy leading us, consumer defensives, and then healthcare actually. But that's not even in the green. That's in the red. And even basic materials now in the red. So you could look for some deep pullbacks that you got in some basic materials. I'm looking at AG, hasn't gone back towards VWAP there. Let's take a look at BTU. It's pulling back significantly. But I would maybe look for a deeper time frame to see where you could find the support. I'm thinking closer towards half of this last move towards 1840s is a good look. We'll see if that can catch some bid there and then get back on up through. We'll see what happens in kind of coal. CEIX is another one I'm looking at. That one's holding at the VWAP a little bit better right now. I do like this look. This is a coal play, and you could look for that to come back towards 38.28s, up there towards 32.50s. So a smaller risk there. So you guys can take a look at this one. This is CEIX. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring on the one, the only Devin. What's up, my friend?
How's it going, man? Good to see you.
Hey, another day, another battle, man. In here battling, not having a bad day, having one good trade in gold, having one bad trade in Lucid, but that's how it goes, right? We battle through, we worry about our risk and return, and the only thing we can do is make decisions. That's what traders do. They make decisions. Then they framework their decision making, and that's the important part, right? So let's go and let's get to kind of what you've been looking at, Devin. Let me know, how are you just feeling about this overall market first? What do you think about?
Yeah, for sure. So the market's wild right now. I mean, it's super volatile, which is awesome as like a day trader and scalper because you get some really crazy moves. Overall market, the biggest thing for me has been waking up every day and not being biased around what I think the overall market is going to do. I mean, I tweeted out, what was it, the day we saw that massive gap down after the Ukraine-Russia news, and I literally just tweeted out, like, don't be biased. Like, let's not be biased. Let's just like trade the reaction and trade the setups that we normally trade, and not think like, oh, we saw this massive gap down, we have to continue down into that direction. Because I know a lot of people that got short that day, and then we saw a massive bounce up throughout the rest of the day, where if you're a little more open-minded about the fact that literally anything can happen in the market, you can catch moves in either direction. So that's been huge for me. It's just not trying to predict what's going to happen every single day, and just having plans on, if this happens, this is what I'm going to do. If the market goes up, here are the stocks I'm going to trade. If the market goes down, here are the stocks I'm going to trade. So not necessarily saying it has to go down. We had this massive gap down, but just saying, hey, it could go either way. No one knows. It's a wild market. Let's just prepare for no matter what happens, you know?
Love it. I mean, that's an approach that's definitely going to keep you flexible. And we always hear about that in traders. You want to stay flexible. Now, I mean, it's always about what works best for you. You're seeing Devin clearly say here, I don't want to be emotions on one side of the trade before the market opens. I think that's the important part there, is that you're trying to be definitely more reactionary. Taking these day trade approach, a lot of that is realizing that you don't need to be worrying too much about what's going to happen tomorrow. Just worry about more along what's going to happen today, right now, in this moment. And so that's the important part about day trading. I think that a lot of traders don't understand what's the difference between day trading and swing trading, is that you got to be so much more into the moment, into that one present moment. And so that if you can focus there in the present, then you can go ahead and try to work on your execution and master that. I think that's what Devin keeps working on, and there's no mastering it. It's always a process. Sometimes you're at higher ends of your game, and sometimes you're at the lower end of the game, just like an athlete, right? We have moments where we're hot and moments when we're not, right? And so let's go ahead. Let's get into your trading, Devin. Let's check out some trades maybe you've made in the last week, or maybe just even today.
Yeah, totally. I have my screen shared here. I'll swipe over here.
Yeah, I got you. I'll put it up when I see it switched over. There you go. Got you.
Sick. Awesome. So yeah, the biggest thing for me, and I know I've chatted about this the last few times I've been on here, is just watching the indices extremely close as I've been trading, and watching for patterns to set up on both either SPY and the Qs and the stock that I'm planning on trading at the same time. And I'm watching Qs really close here, because we're at a pretty key area here. We have this downward resistance that's coming down. But today I actually traded 3 different stocks. Today I traded Tesla, MU, and UPST. So I'll go ahead. I'll start with UPST, and I'll kind of share why I had this on watch. So
Okay.
I'm going to pull it up on the 4-hour chart. I used to trade this thing back when it had this massive run up. I used to trade it almost every single day. So I'm pretty familiar with it, and I'm pretty familiar with how the premiums and stuff move. But I had this thing I watched because we had this massive push up yesterday into these highs that it put in after earnings a few weeks back. So what I was watching today was I was watching for a pullback down to that previous high it made after earnings, and then a continuation up. So as you can see here, this is the high it made after earnings, 158.44. So what I was watching was for a break and a hold of that level for continuation up. So I entered, let me pull it up in the 1 minute here just so I can show you the exact. So I ended up entering right here when it reclaimed that level, and it ended up not having the momentum it needed. The indices started pulling back with it as well, and it was overall weak compared to the overall market. So I did end up stopping out for like a super small loss when we lost that level. And we didn't end up pushing that pre-market high there, which was where I was looking to take profits, was that initial push above pre-market high. So that was a loser on the day. And then we had MU, which was a really good setup on the day because, oh, sorry, wrong ticker. So MU was something I was watching on the hourly chart here. They're taking a little bit to load here.
No worries.
Oh, I had the wrong ticker in again here. Oh, there we go. Sweet. There we go. So we have this massive resistance here on the hourly chart, downward resistance, and we've really been respecting it. And I was watching for a breakout above that resistance, and we got it today. But unfortunately, we ended up getting rejected up there really hard. But my game plan was to catch the break of 89 up to $90. And I snagged an early entry on this, actually. So we were really struggling around this level here, this 88.60 level. So when we started to break out here, I caught an entry and caught the move up before we even broke 89. And this thing ended up pushing all the way up to 89.84. So it didn't quite hit my target of $90. As the overall market started pulling back a little bit, this thing came down. As you can see, it's down here with the rest of the day. But overall, this was a really good setup. And yeah, you saw an increase of volume as it pushed up. And it was a crazy move. I don't even know what this was percentage-wise, but overall contracts I were trading, they moved from about $140 a piece to just over $200 a piece. So a really solid move percentage-wise. I didn't catch that whole move. Obviously, I'm a scalper, so I'm in and out super quick. And I just accept the fact that I don't catch these massive moves all the time. And a lot of times I just catch a chunk of them, but I'm totally all right with that. And then the last trade I took today was on Tesla. Obviously, right. Would be right if I didn't trade this at least once a day. But I caught this move off the open. I'm really good at trading Tesla off the open within like the first 1 to 2 minutes. And what I was doing off the open was I was anticipating, I was catching that pre-market high break. So here was pre-market high, and I got in right for that high, and then I just scalp it off the open for like $200 per contract on this one. Literally, it was just this move here. I got in right here and sold right here. And I did this quite a bit off the open on Tesla. I don't recommend it if you're a newer trader. It's fairly challenging, but the premiums move insane on Tesla off the open. So if you can get it down where you have a high win rate, like I would say I win like maybe 75% of my trades off the open. So I'm comfortable with taking these plays, and my rule of thumb is it's just get in and get out super quick, whether it goes into your direction or not. You just have to be prepared to cut your losses extremely quick and take your profits super quick. Because as you can see, second we peaked out up here, this next candle was very ugly. And then I did end up giving back some of my profits I made on that, trying to go short down here. So I went short here at 8:45 my time, which is 9:45 Eastern time. And I cut this move down, and I was really looking for that low of daybreak, and I thought we were going to get it. Would have been a really nice move, but we ended up bouncing. So I took a small win there, and then I gave back some profits down here trying to go short as well, and we ended up getting faked out. So I just stepped away for the day. Took my profits and stepped away for the day. And then I ended up seeing this massive move that happened later on. We had this wedge that formed here, and we broke out and had this insane move to the upside. We broke that high of day. No, sorry, this was yesterday's high. So we broke yesterday's high, came up, came back, perfectly retested yesterday's high, and then continued up for another push. So this would have been a really nice play. I don't know if I would have played this, but I definitely would have played this here. Like my entry on this would have been basically right at the open of this candle for that new high. So definitely a lot of good setups. Just be patient and wait for them to come to you. So.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of kind of these little momentum swings, and they don't last too long. We're seeing bigger pullbacks. Let's say even below VWAP, where usually you see it being maybe even above VWAP and holding. But definitely, I've been seeing these quick moves, and it's looking like at least you're able to capture some and then also get out when you need to, right? I mean, that's the idea here, is not just stay in the trade and try to wish for it to go in your direction. You got to take your trades. And when they go right, when they go wrong, the only thing you can do is focus on execution. I think the only time that a trader should get upset is when we completely go against all that we know, right? Let's say shorting at the highs, and that's not really your strategy. Perfect example. I see this happen all the time, especially with new traders. They're like, but the stock has gone up 60%. Why can't I get short on it? It's so overextended, right, Devin? You hear it all the time.
The RSI is way up there.
RSI is at 70, dude. I have to get short here. And it's a great question, because we actually had a question in the chat that specifically just asked about this. So we get Blessing here. Not to call you out, Blessing. There's more along to learn, right? We can learn from Devin and I. So let's not necessarily just take it as me, right? One of the things is when you study the markets, you're able to really start looking at kind of the topics that you want to keep focused of. So here's a question about personal question. Which RSI is good to short a stock? There's no RSI that's good to short a stock, even at 100, even if it's at overbought, like 100 and it's just holding up there. It doesn't necessarily mean to short based off indicators. Indicators.
Also, that's just one thing too. Like that's just one indicator. You should never just trade off of one thing. Like you're determining a good trade should be based off of multiple things happening at the same time, not just, oh, the RSI is overextended. That's not enough to like tell you what's going to happen or even predict what could possibly happen.
Yeah. Definitely. I think it's so important. One of the things that I like to do is understanding that, to me, indicators, to me at least, they don't get me entry. They give me confirmation. So to me, what I'm looking for, a lot of the times I'm using indicators to use descriptions about the charts. Essentially, that's what it's telling the story of the ticks. Right. And so whichever indicator you're looking at, it could be like a money indicator. So you're looking at money flows, right? Or you're looking at the average true range. Then you're looking at volatility. You're just describing the action, the price action with these indicators. Why I use them for confirmation is a lot of these indicators do what? They lag. And so what I want to do is get into trades and then see the indicators follow in the direction that I'm trading. So let's say if we're looking for a positive move in, let's say, an exponential moving average or a MACD, right? And so you could be looking at the exponential moving average, but we could also be looking for what? A crossover from the trigger line. So in this case, this is a MACD on the bottom. We would be looking for, this is the gold trade that we're taking right now. I already took the trade, right? I took the trade over here when we started the first crossover. Now we cross back down below the line. Now I'm looking for what? A trigger back above. And so that would show me what? Okay, confirmation that at least my indicators are pointing to the direction that the price action is pointing. What are you looking for? In what's a negative? They call it negative divergence. So let's say if the price action was coming up here, but this orange line was not crossing over here and was crossing towards the downside below this part here, that would be a negative divergence. And so when you get those divergence, that's when you want to pay attention. Hold on, the price action is not matching the indicator. And here I want to pay attention to see what happens. But I don't know how you kind of look at it. Do you use your indicators more for just description, or do you use confirmation? How do you go about it, Dev?
I use my indicators most of the time for the risk.
And what
like
indicators
what
do
I'm
you use?
risking. So I just use the 9 EMA and VWAP on my 1 minute and 5 minute chart. But then when I'm looking at stocks on a larger time frame, I have like all the 9 EMAs, like the 3 core 9 EMAs, even like the 200 EMA and stuff like that. But when I'm day trading, it's just VWAP and 9 EMA. And a lot of times I'm just using these as stop losses. So I'm using the 9 EMA as a stop loss. And I'm like, hey, if it breaks below this and closes below that, that's where I'm getting out. But I'm not necessarily playing based off of those. I've tried playing, like I've spent a lot of time playing like VWAP breaks and things like that, but I've just gotten faked out too many times to just play a VWAP break like that. I need much more than that in order to have the risk to reward that I want. So
Yeah, perfect example here. You see here my light blue line. What is it? 9 EMA. Why do Devin and I like this? Maybe look it up, guys. There's a reason why, right? And I've actually heard also the 10 EMA. It's actually an interesting one to take a look at. I've thought about maybe bringing it back down towards the 10. What would that do? It would make it less. It would make it more smooth, so the reactionary would lag a little bit towards the 9. The 9 would point a little bit quicker up than the 10. Let's just kind of put that into reference so that people understand, why do you go back in the SMAs and EMAs, or why do you go forward? So the more back you go, the smoother the action is going to be. It's not going to bounce as fast. And the lower it is, the faster you'll see that action up and down. I'm going to probably take some profit into gold, into this move, into 23.15s there. I'll let you guys know exactly what I get. Hendrix here, over here on the minus. You guys just saw my Zoom just go crazy. Yeah, that was all Hendrix here. He said, I don't like the way you're looking at charts today. He took off the algorithm. The scaling, it looks like it's not even moving now. It's not making a move,
it's a
guys.
flat line.
I'll get it right here, guys. There he goes. Boom. Hendrix trying to mess with me today. All right, guys, we'll definitely take a look. And Devin, definitely, how are you feeling about your Tesla? Because you get to see the price action often. And I'll tell you right now, I would rather listen to probably Devin about Tesla than myself. Because why? He's seeing the price action. Daily price action is important to understand. You start seeing where these levels start to react. How does the stock work? And I think one thing that I see from Devin that I love is that he doesn't try to trade 100 tickers. He usually has Tesla under his radar, and then he's looking at maybe some split plays in between there at sectors and industries that he likes. I love that about you, Devin. What do you think about Tesla here? How are you seeing the price action lately?
Yeah, so the price action is really good in the first hour of market open is what I've been liking it. It's super clear. The thing I've been noticing most though is it's very hard to go short on Tesla right now, unless you have a very bloody day in the overall market. Like look at today, I tried going short at the low of day, or anticipating a low of day break, but we just continued to get bought up at that low. And we see a lot of buying going on down there. So even after we saw a big flush down off the open like that, we still found support and then ended up making new highs. So I'm still bullish on it most days. I'm still more bullish on it most days than I am bearish. But I do love when we get a good flush down on Tesla. I think the biggest thing is the plays that worked on Tesla last year and the year before don't necessarily work as well anymore. You don't get to just get in at the high of day or the pre-market high. Same thing to the downside, the pre-market low. You don't get to just get in at those levels because you're going to get faked out way too much. It's too much of a gamble for me. Like I need to see. What I've been doing is I look for patterns to form around those levels, and that's what's been working for me. So what I want to see is I want to see either, say we're looking at prior day high, the overall market is bullish, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch for a push up either near or above that prior day high. And I'm going to watch for a bull flag to form around there, a pennant to form around there, maybe a red degree move around there. I'm not just going to get in on the first break of that high. I'm going to watch for something to form around that level. And then at the same time, I'm going to watch indices at the same exact time. And I'm going to try to put out different patterns on the indices and watch them break at the same time. So like yesterday, I caught a really good move on Tesla to the upside, and SPY had this flag and Tesla had this flag. And I was like, if these two break at the same time, that's like double confirmation. And it ended up playing out extremely well. Caught a huge move on Tesla. SPY ended up faking out and coming down, but it was enough to push Tesla up through those levels. So you just have to be more careful and have more things that you're looking at than just the pre-market high and the prior day high and stuff like that. Like you totally got away with that the past 2 years, and I did too. And it was extremely easy to make money doing that. But it's not that easy anymore. So, and then, yeah, just defining your risk and having a super tight stop on Tesla. If you're trading options right now, I'm sure some of you have noticed that trade Tesla options. It's if you buy on the actual breakout, the premiums are jacked up already. Yeah. So your risk reward is totally screwed. So you have to get in before that massive pop. And that's why I was saying, like, if you get on the initial break of any of these certain levels that you may watch, your premiums are going to be so jacked up that if you don't get a move right away in your favor, say you manage your risk with maybe like a 15% stop, which is pretty normal on options, like a 10 to 15% stop, you're going to hit that stop on the slightest pullback, just because of the premiums. The second a red candle comes in, they're going to be shot. So you just have to be more picky with your entries. And that's what I've been doing, is just being much more picky and not getting in on when the premiums are already jacked up. So
love it. Love the warning signs out there. Definitely calling the red flags when you see that premium jump. And that just goes to show you, right, guys, even if a stock's going in a direction, you need to understand what premium is so that you can understand that, hey, is it the time for me to get in now or not? This is why I always talk about pricing of options, and understanding that is always going to give you an advantage if you are an options trader. Understand, how do they price them? How does an option contract really work? When I want to price it, how does that work? I think it's important. The mechanisms underneath options. I took a derivatives class in college just based on that alone. So just to show you guys that how important it is to understanding that pricing. Maybe even if you're a day trader, maybe let's start learning a little bit more. How does that really work? If I was to sell the option, how do I sell it? How do I price it? Where does that come from? It's so important to understand. You're going to get into the Greeks, and you'll get a better understanding of the Greeks. And you'll also be able to pay attention to those values themselves. I've seen the best options traders truly and fully understand the Greeks. So definitely take into that. Another thing that you mentioned that I love, Devin, is knowing multiple patterns, having multiple tools in your tool set. I use this often. You guys will see me. I don't only trade flags. I trade reversals sometimes. And that's also what Devin's kind of bringing on up. I'm seeing a reversal pattern show up at the bottom of support, and it's coming back. It looks like it could come back to VWAP and really take off. That's probably the best time when he's probably taking those options to the long side, because the premium isn't in yet, because you're on the downside. In the stock, at least on the ticker wise, you're looking at the chart and it's looking like it's downside, but maybe on a deeper time frame, you're seeing that support, that reversal pattern building up there. And so that's another thing that you're looking at. And I love the way the approach there is I'm looking at levels, and then I'm looking for patterns to develop at those levels, versus I'm just looking at patterns. And then even if it's near that level, I'm not really paying attention to the combination of that, which I think is important to kind of find. And support and resistance trend lines are always going to be a little bit more subjective than just exact pennies. I think that's another thing to keep in mind. And one thing that Devin's looking for, like, even if there's a big wick, but if there's a big buildup of consolidation at the bottom there on the price point, he can see, okay, that was the support I was looking for Tesla to hold today. So now that I've gone sideways there for 15 minutes, let's take our shot, you know?
Yeah.
So I like the approach that you're doing, Devin, and we're going to keep bringing you back, and love it how you're definitely not just taking one-sided, like, this is the only way to make it, guys. It's all about understanding the price action, and sometimes sticking to like one or two stocks can actually help you a lot, because you can see the price action consistently day in and day out. And those are the people that truly know a stock. Like, I wouldn't say I truly know Tesla because I don't trade it every day. I maybe trade it once every 3 months. And so with that being mentioned, look for people that have that everyday price action look towards one certain stock. Not that you can take exactly what they're saying, but I'll tell you one thing, they'll have a better understanding than you do. Thank you for coming on, Devin. We'll bring you back next week, and have a great week, man.
Sounds good.
I did put your link in the bottom there, guys. So guys, hit him up on Twitter. If you guys want to check him out, he does put out some videos also on his trade, what I think is always important, looking back and understanding how do we attack patterns, how do we attack trades, then we can come back and look at our own data. Are we executing? Thank you, Devin. Like always, we'll bring you back, my friend.
Heck yeah. Appreciate it, man. See you next time.
See you next time. All right, guys, we got about 11 minutes left here. I'm still in this GOLD trade, guys. We've been building up this trade for a while here, and I want to show it in the confirmation that we were talking about. So remember, we drew this line here. We were looking for confirmation, right? And so we're going to look for that continuously to hold here, get back into that trend, get back towards 2320s. We don't want to see it back below VWAP now, and that's our entry. So we're in a good spot here. We'll look for gold to continue on up towards 2320s. If that could happen, we'll still be looking good. Confirmation on the 1 minute. Really, we took this trade on the 5 minute, so we're looking for the crossover to happen. Now you're getting towards that crossover spot. This is really important here. Now that we went from what? Above crossover, above, back below, you're looking for that recrossover, and you're going to look for a push towards these levels to show you that confirmation. So remember, confirmation, not entry for me on indicators. I hope you guys enjoyed that talk. All right, love to learn. I'm like a sponge. Me too, Kyle. I tell you right now, whenever I hear traders talking about trading, even I, that have been at this game for 6 years, I learn every single day. And there's a reason why I hang out with experts like Dennis Dick and Joel Elconin that have the experience, because I want to learn how they approach things and learn off of that. It's always good to understand strengths and weaknesses of traders, just like you could probably understand mine by watching me for a while. All right, so Swift being mentioned by Grizzly. I'll take a couple stocks from you guys in the chat out there. I'm going to keep this one on watch, see what happens out here. But there was a lot of volume that came in at 2303. That's kind of the levels that I'd be watching gold to make sure that that holds. Let's keep going to stocks that you guys want to take a look at. And Shift Technologies, not much going on there for me. I know this is a SPAC. I don't really like it here, guys. I mean, I like the daily chart if you can kind of hold, but look how you just went back through that low of yesterday. I don't like how you cut that, which is 185. It needs to get back towards that 185. If you get back towards 160s, I would still see this as a bearish pattern. Wouldn't see it bullish. SoFi is one that we already talked about, so I'll try to get really quickly through it. Keeping an eye out to see if it's going to keep kind of the higher lows. We just got a closer higher low, which is 52s. Now we hit 55s. You don't want to see 52s break if you're kind of still into SoFi, at least from my mentality here. I want to see higher lows continue, and that trend continue on the 1 hour chart. All right, let's keep going. Short tap, says Jordan. Tap? Why short tap? Let's take a look. I haven't seen it today, so looks like we are turning around significantly from that breakout. The real question is, do we hold inside this kind of pattern here around the 40? I would not want to see for sure 49.50 break on the downside. So if I'm a bull and I got in there, let's say at $50, it got out there to 52.50. I'm like, yeah, it's going well. Today it's pulling back. And I'm looking at levels where I can hold. I'm looking at that 49.50 area for it to make sure that that holds on those pullbacks. 200 EMA has it closer towards 49.38. So maybe even look at that, maybe being your kind of risk if you're long. But if you're shorting this, like you told me, it's not a bad look. It really isn't. I mean, this is just gone faded. Just be careful for a move back towards VWAP and then a flush back right back down. That'd be a push back up about 1.88%. So it doesn't look bad here, though. You have been just trending on down. I would draw a trend line personally. I'd be drawing a trend line and just staying with that. As long as that can hold, we're looking good. So you could use even that resistance here. You can see how it crosses over there at that 50-20 area. That's where I wouldn't want to see it get into. And I'd probably get out if I was short and I was just trying to ride the momentum. But like always, make your own decision, Jordan. Do your own risk analysis and your own reward targets. All right. How often do you use volume profile on trades? I do my own volume analysis, but you can use volume profile. My brokerage is here. The charting on this TC doesn't have it, so I don't even bring it on up, but some people really like to use it. Volume profile never gives you 100%. And so to me, I personally don't think volume profile is something that you should trade off of. You should just be using it to help you more describe the chart. Where did a lot of volume come in is important, but it also doesn't mean that it was buying and selling there. So I think that's important to understand. Still short. Lucid needed to tank. Let's take a look there at Lucid. Lucid rejected back to getting back above here. We're finally getting towards these lows. And remember, I got stopped out in Lucid earlier today. So we're going to look to see if it cracks back down below that kind of trend line, back below 24.25s. It could fade for the rest of the day. I personally am not going to take this trade, but I could see how you were going off maybe, let's say, 24.80s, and you're looking for a breakdown there to continue going down. We'll see if that can make that move and really start cracking there. I'm not going to take that trade, though, today, at least just letting you guys know. It's always about what you guys want. Mitch, excellent assessment of use of volume profile. Yeah, it should just be used to understand where the volumes are getting in and out. I don't like when people say like, oh, what if it cuts through this volume profile again? I got to be long. I don't like that either. There's never guarantees in trading. Hendrix, should we use a little Hendrix camera time? I think we could do a little Hendrix camera time. Let's see what we got here. You guys want to see how what Hendrix does for me? Let's take a look here. Hendrix cam. Turning on the Hendrix cam here, guys. Dun, dun. Gotta mute this thing. Let me mute it so you don't hear me. There you guys have it. Little Hendrix cam action. Little Hendrix cam. Let's go sideways so we can actually see him. Boom, boom. Look at that. He's working so hard, guys. You see how he gets close to the keyboard? He's working so hard. Gold Lucid, baby. What's up, Hendrix? Sleeping? He's working hard, guys. Hardly working or working hard? We don't know. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the Hendrix cam. I'll go ahead and remove that there. But like always, guys, smash the like. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Check out the membership, guys. We do have some good emojis in there if you guys want to check that on out. So definitely I would go ahead and take a look at that. As you guys see, we're going to keep looking at trades. We're going to take a look at some of the sectors and industries. If you guys want to join me, like always, I will be on Money Mitch today, guys. I got another great guest. I'm going to be talking a lot about some swing trade action. I'm going to be looking for some swing trades. You guys join me on Money Mitch. That's at 4:30. Yes, you guys heard it, 4:30, right after Cannabis Insiders. So if you guys need a little bit of cannabis action and you want to talk about cannabis stocks, check out Cannabis Insider and then come on over to Money Mitch. I'll see you guys on over there at 4:30. We got about 3 minutes left here. We're going to start wrapping on up. Let's play a little music action. What do we got playing here? Let's see. I'm just going to go with whatever I have. I do have a kind of a playlist that I've been giving on out, guys. So if you guys want to check it on out, you guys can check it out. It's on my Twitter. If you guys want some reggae songs to kind of hang out to, check it on out, guys. This is called Slightly Stupid, and it's the song is called This Joint. Earlier, I played Everything Changes by Soulja. I know that someone asked me for that song, but let's go. Hey, wrapping it on up. Let's go to my favorite song here. This is kind of, I would say, our theme song here, Weight of Sound. So Weight of Sound by Stick Figure. Great show. You're enjoying it. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Smash the like. Love the shirt. Yeah, let's go. Pink Pink Floyd, I could play some Pink Floyd to hear, guys, but I'm not sure there's very Pink Floyd fans out there. You guys let me know if you guys are Pink Floyd fans. I'm a big Pink Floyd fan. I'm new here. What are you trading? Says Julian. Let's take a look. So Julian, I trade common stocks. We do have some traders that join us until about 10:30 that trade YOLO options and maybe some scalp type of trades, some bigger sizing. I trade regularly common stocks. I'm going to do some day trading and swing trading. Swing trading is my bread and butter. I will let you know that right off the bat. I do decent in day trading, and I have been doing decent lately. But one of the things is it's not my bread and butter. It's not where I'm going to put a lot of my money to. It's going to be something that a lot of times what happens is my day trades become swing trades. What I mean by that is that I'm setting certain levels using lower share size to give me an ability to get outside of the volatility of the intraday and look for bigger moves on the upside. Play Echoes by Pink Floyd. Ooh, that's some good stuff. Shine on, you crazy diamonds on out there. If you guys know that one, that's always a great one. Shine on, diamonds. All right, CCL, you're taking a look at that, Shannon. I wanted to take a look at that for a kind of a swing trade type of approach. It's definitely pulling back towards a level that I can start taking a swing trade approach. How would I take a swing trade approach here? I'd be looking at the supports, right? So I'm looking for this support to hold. So I'd be looking for that to come into play. I'd draw a line there. I'd be like, okay, 1875. We're going to risk down towards 1752. So we have to understand what the percentage is there. Let's go ahead. Let's go to the hourly and understand that. So if we got in somewhere, let's say at 1870s or maybe 1872 or even above here, let's say we got in right below it at 65s. 65s to that 52 is about 5.6% risk. So to me, I have to make at least 15% on the upside for me to make this trade make sense. So what I do is I start structuring and I look at the hourly. Okay, so if I got in there, what would be 15% up? 15% up is right up here to the 21 towards the resistance. So that's really not the worst. That's 14% to the first resistance. And then the second resistance would be on up there already to 23%. So it's not a bad structured trade. Why? Because the profit and loss ratio at least kind of makes sense here from the chart. Now you got to go ahead and see if you can get it off these levels, maybe below 1875, risking down towards that 1752 or maybe 1750. And then you look at the share size, understand what the dollar risk amount would be there. Let's say if we're risking here, we're risking about $1.25. So for me on certain types of trades, I don't like to lose more than $50 on any trade. I'll be honest, that's not the biggest amount of money, but it's all about what works for you. So it's for me, if I didn't want to lose more than $50 there, I'm looking at somewhere between 30 shares here. So it's about $1.25 or $1.50 really up there towards. So you're looking at like 40, between 30 to 40 shares there for me, how I would be approaching this CCL. Based off the risk and that I don't want to ever lose more than $50 on one trade. All right, let's go. Let's go. Dub side of the moon. I got to check that one out. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. I've checked out that one. Shine on. Definitely. Shine on, Bill. Gary, I hope you're enjoying it out there. Rolling over Ukraine news. Easy, Mike says. If you got some Ukraine news, please throw it up in the chat. I'll definitely pay attention. Miss Whitehorse, Daniel out in the chat. ISM in agency. Rich, even Crystal in the house. Looks good to have you guys out there. Julian, new to the show. It's good to have you in the chat, man. Good to have you welcome into the show. We're going to get you on over to Benzinga Live. They already started, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap on up. Enjoy the jams. Enjoy the show. Please do me the favor, guys, and do Hendrix the favor. Hit the share button down below. Let everybody know this is the best community for live trading options. Whatever you do, come right over to Benzinga. Live trading with Benzinga. Up next, you guys got Benzinga Live. You guys will be talking about Microsoft there. I did see some battle in Microsoft there. So stay tuned, guys. We'll see what happens. Microsoft versus Apple coming up next. Check it on out, guys. See you there. Bum, 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 bum.